officers of state present, honorable members of parliament, friends of the late President John Evans Atta Mills, members of the family of the late president, revered clergy, including my younger brother, Dr. Lawrence Tete, who preached the sermon, friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Every year we return to this quiet place known as the Asumdwe Park, not merely to lay wreaths, but to renew our gratitude for a life that enriched and strengthened our nation. Time has a way of softening grief and pain, but it also has a way of sharpening memory. 14 years after Professor John Evans Atta Mills left us, I find that what endures most after his departure is not merely the memory of a president, but the memory of a man, a gentle soul, whose character was his greatest strength. Some leaders command attention by force of their personalities. President Mills commanded respect by the strength of his character and his values. He believed that kindness was not a weakness, and that humility was not timidity, and that decency was not incompatible with effective leadership. He demonstrated that one could occupy the highest office of the land without losing one's humanity. I had the rare privilege of serving by his side. Beyond the cabinet meetings, the official engagements, and the weighty affairs of state, I came to know a leader who listened more than he spoke, who reflected before he acted, and who never allowed the burdens of office to diminish his compassion for the ordinary people that he led. Professor Mills's leadership was anchored in conscience. In today's world, where our public discourse is often dominated by anger, division, and impatience, the life of President Mills reminds us that history ultimately judges leaders not by the volume of their voices, but by the depth of their convictions, not by the bitterness of political contests, but by the lasting impact of their service. And that is why his legacy continues to resonate. He taught us that public office is not a prize to be claimed, but a trust given by the people to be honored. He understood that leadership is at its best when it seeks to unite a people rather than divide them, to heal rather than injure, and to inspire rather than intimidate. As I reflect on the responsibilities that the people of Ghana have entrusted on me today, I often recall his quiet wisdom and steady temperament. These values continue to remind me that every decision that I take must ultimately serve the people of Ghana and strengthen the democratic institutions that would outlive us all. The greatest tribute we can pay to President Mills is not found in any speeches or ceremonies or anniversaries annually. The greatest tribute we can pay to him lies in our commitment to the principles that he cherished and lived for, and that is integrity in public life, respect for democratic institutions, tolerance of different views, compassion for the vulnerable, and an unwavering belief that Ghana's progress must benefit each and every one of its citizens. His dream of a peaceful, just, and prosperous Ghana remains a work in progress. And I pledge to the memory of Professor Mills, President Mills, that I shall continue to walk in the footsteps that he left. Professor Mills' dream now belongs to all of us, and we must continue to work to fulfill that dream. To Mrs. Ernestina Nadu Mills and the entire Mills family, I extend the gratitude of a grateful nation for sharing with us a man whose life continues to illuminate our path. May future generations who never had the privilege of knowing him come to understand that true greatness is often quiet, that genuine strength is often humble, and that enduring leadership is measured by service rather than acclaim. Professor John Evans Atimills lived by those ideals, and may his example continue to guide and inspire our republic, and may his gentle soul forever rest in perfect peace. I thank you. May God bless us all. May God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Before I refer you to the Attorney General for prosecution, let's go through some of these items. There were 13 items in your budget that you exceeded without any approval of the board. So let's go through these. You said you have foreign training of 31 million, but you spent 91 million. Why? And who approved that?
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. We will not try to justify the infractions. We accept that we overstepped our boundaries. I think the most important thing is that we have put in place measures to control expenditure, to make sure that we stay within the budget.
You are the CEO, right?
Yes, sir.
This happened in 2023.
Yes.
This happened in 2023. And just like Honorable Abnao Siasari said, it's the way that you guys spend money at ECG. Another one, you said cleaning expenses. 2.8 million, that was your budget. But ECG spent 10.4. How many suits did you clean for that? Now, honorarium expenses, 3.8, but you spent 4.6. Hotel expenses, 9.3 million was your budget, but you spent 12.2. Staff fuel. Hey, did they drive around the world? Budget was 2.8, and you spent 3.6 million. Communication expenses, ECG. Their budget was 4.2, but you spent 7.9 million. Consultancy, budget was 40 million, but you spent 58.6 million. All these you did it on your own without even board approval. Industrial relations, your budget was 2 million, but you spent 13 million. Stakeholders' expenses, your budget was 3.1 million, and you spent 49 million. And you want to increase our tariffs. Publicity, your budget was 5.7, and you spent 21.8 million. professional fees and subscription. You are supposed to spend 731,000 cedis, and you spent 1.5 million.
Mr. Speaker, I now wish to speak directly to every Ghanaian listening to me this afternoon. To the market trader whose purchasing power has improved because inflation has fallen. To the entrepreneur who can now borrow at lower interest rate to expand their businesses, and to the worker whose income now stretches further because the cedi has stabilized. These improvements are not abstract statistics. They are the dividend of sound and competent economic management. We recognize that the sacrifices required to restore the economy were significant, and that many households continue to face challenges. But we also know that the foundations of Ghana's economy are now firmly in place. Fiscal discipline has been restored. Macroeconomic stability has returned. Confidence has been rebuilt. And the institutions needed to safeguard these gains have been strengthened. Under the leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, Ghana is not going back. Ghana is moving forward. Mr. Speaker, the government that has delivered these results over the past 18 months has earned the trust to continue implementing the reforms that will secure Ghana's long-term prosperity. Right Honorable Speaker, the lesson here is simple. Better policy, stronger compliance, and smarter administration will always deliver more sustainable revenue than higher taxes. Mr. Speaker, the third key transformational policy reform was the introduction of a complementary fiscal policy to support inflation targeting, ensuring exchange rate stability, and building external resilience. Central to this reform was the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board to curb gold smuggling, formalize the gold trade, and ensure that a greater share of Ghana's mineral wealth benefit the Ghanaian people. Through this intervention, Ghana generated an additional 15 billion United States dollars in foreign exchange inflows from gold, significantly strengthening reserve accumulation and supporting exchange rate stability. This single policy measure improved Ghana's current account balance by 6.4 percentage points from a surplus of 1.9% in 2024 to 8.3% in 2025. Mr. Speaker, this represents a 4 times increment of the current account surplus in just 1 calendar year. Mr. Speaker, this was not simply a gold policy. This was a macroeconomic stabilization policy designed to strengthen the city, build external buffers, and restore confidence in the Ghanaian economy. To reinforce these gains, government developed and is implementing the Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy, GANRAP, with the objective of increasing Ghana's international reserve to the equivalent of 15 months of import cover by end of 2028. Right, Honorable Speaker, I now turn to macroeconomic performance for the first half of the year. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has not merely met its first half-year target, it has exceeded them. Mr. Speaker, overall GDP growth was 6.4% in the first quarter of 2026, well ahead of the 4.8% full-year target. Non-oil GDP growth was 6.3% in the first quarter of 2026, well ahead of the 4.9% full-year target. Inflation has more than halved, falling from 13.7% in June 2025 to 5.3% by end of June 2026, against a target of 8 plus or minus 1% at the end of the year. The primary balance recorded a surplus of 0.9% of GDP on commitment basis, firmly on track to achieve our end-year target of 1.5% of GDP. Gross international reserves was 5 months of import cover as at end of June 2026, exceeding the target of at least 3 months of import cover. Mr. Speaker, January to June 2026, fiscal performance. Mr. Speaker, the provisional fiscal performance for the first half of 2026 is presented against the following approved 2026 fiscal target. Overall deficit target on commitment basis of 2.2% of GDP, primary surplus of 1.5% of the GDP, overall deficit on cash basis of 4% of GDP, and primary surplus on a cash basis of 0.4% of GDP. But Mr. Speaker, provisional fiscal outturn for the first half of 2026 was stronger than anticipated, indicating continued prudence in fiscal management and enhancing the government fiscal consolidation agenda. Non-oil tax revenue as at end of June 2026 was 6.4% of GDP compared to a target of 6.5% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, domestic revenue reached 7.7% of GDP by June 2026 compared to the target of 7.8% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, total revenue and grant reached 7.8% of GDP by June 2026 compared to a target of 7.9% of GDP. Total expenditure on commitment basis at the end of June 2026 was 8.0% of GDP against the half-year target of 9.9% of GDP. Primary expenditure, which excludes interest payment, was 6.6% of GDP by June 2026 compared to half-year target of 8.1% of GDP. Interest costs at 1.3% of GDP as at the end of June 2026 against the half-year target of 1.8% of GDP, indicating that we have saved on interest about 0.5% of GDP, reflecting lower interest rates and improved debt management. Mr. Speaker, this performance reflects the resolve of this administration to make difficult decisions, implement them consistently, and maintain unwavering fiscal discipline. Mr. Speaker, I now move to public debt. At the end of June 2026, domestic debt accounted for 54.4% of Ghana's total public debt portfolio, while external debt accounted for 45.6%. On the 17th of February 2026, government honored the 6th domestic debt exchange program coupon payment of 10.1 billion on time and in full. Mr. Speaker, the 7th DDEP coupon payment of 10.8 billion cedis falls due on the 18th of August 2026. Let me use this opportunity to assure this House that it will be paid on time and in full. Mr. Speaker, since January 2025, the government has paid a total of $2.1 billion in principal and interest to Eurobond holders without placing undue pressure. Right, Honorable Speaker, the lesson here is simple. Better policy, stronger compliance, and smarter administration will always deliver more sustainable revenue than higher taxes. Mr. Speaker, the third key transformational policy reform was the introduction of a complementary fiscal policy to support inflation targeting, ensuring exchange rate stability, and building external resilience. Central to this reform was the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board to curb gold smuggling, formalize the gold trade, and ensure that a greater share of Ghana's mineral wealth benefits the Ghanaian people. Through this intervention, Ghana generated an additional $15 billion United States dollars in foreign exchange inflows from gold, significantly strengthening reserve accumulation and supporting exchange rate stability. This single policy measure improved Ghana's current account balance by 6.4 percentage points from a surplus of 1.9% in 2024 to 8.3% in 2025. Mr. Speaker, this represents a 4 times increment of the current account surplus in just 1 calendar year. Mr. Speaker, this was not simply a gold policy. This was a macroeconomic stabilization policy designed to strengthen the city, build external buffers, and restore confidence in the Ghanaian economy. To reinforce these gains, government developed and is implementing the Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy, GANRAP, with the objective of increasing Ghana's international reserve to the equivalent of 15 months of import cover by end of 2028. Inflation declined from 23.8% in December 2024 to 5.4% at the end of 2025 and remained low at 5.3% in June 2026. Fiscal performance has also exceeded expectations. The primary balance on commitment basis recorded a surplus of 2.5% of GDP as at the end of 2025. By end of June 2026, we had achieved a primary surplus of 0.9% of GDP on commitment basis. We are firmly on track to achieve our end year target of 1.5% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, prudent fiscal management has also translated into a rapid decline in Ghana's public debt. The debt to GDP ratio fell from 61.8% of GDP, 61.8% at the end of 2024 to 44.7% at the end of 2025 and reached 45% by end of June 2026. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has therefore already achieved its statutory debt target of 45% of GDP, years ahead of both IMF program timeline and the targeted date established under the Public Financial Management Act. Mr. Speaker, debt service is also consuming a far smaller share of government revenue. Debt service as a share of domestic revenue declined sharply from 55.7% in 2022 to 28.8% in 2025, freeing up billions of cedis for schools, hospitals, roads, and other national priorities. Mr. Speaker, for the first time since April 2014, Ghana's external and overall risk of debt distress has improved from high to moderate. Even more significantly, the joint World Bank IMF debt sustainability analysis has moved Ghana from unsustainable in 2023 to sustainable in 2025, and now for the first time ever to sustainable with room to absorb shocks.
Honorable Minister.
I was here always from more Kwabakasiapa Ediba TV XYZ and it power 97.9 FM inside politics Jumedi Sunny ye first akonya so na in some ahodo a etwegu o man mu nyina no de edina sere fata se wo so betimi nya ho nti ase no ye de sajmedie we abomoden na ye de asomo ye nyina ya kire ya dwene enti ukoye platforms na wo Facebook na at Power 979 FM TV XYZ ubehun say inside politics jumedie no etwegu live and colored o hwe jumedie bia na wo de wadwen kire bia beba otim ato ase wo mere pem no ye beken kan de ama ukopie mu e wo YouTube nso ayen platform no wo ho ɛno yɛ XYZ broadcaster na afei hɔ nso wagye bra hwɛ inside politics dwumadi a ɛtwagu ɛnɛ awia yi na yɛn nyinaa akɔ so atɔtɔ adwene ɛde nhyehyɛeɛ pa mpanimfoɔ de gu akwan mu akyekyere wɔn sɛ bɛyɛ na Ghana bɛtumi akɔ so afa ne ntoma pa bi na ɔde afira nti wokɔ MCR Mr. Raf Jampo wɔ hɔ afei Mr. Peter Cranton Abbas Mr. Emmanuel Kisi ɛne Mr. Emmanuel Nete mpanimfoɔ yi ɛna abere bia wɔn gyinam ɛwɔ ɛyɛ MCR na ɔmohyehyɛ TV ne so ma sɛ de na wobɛtumi agye brɛ ahwɛ dwumadie bi Lizzie ana twi yɛ ne makeup ɛwɔ fie ha no mu sɛ afei ɛyɛ Elvis ɛne Francis ɛna ne de ɔmo gyina cameras no akyi ɔmo twa dwumadie wi na ɔmo de asom Mr. Kelvin Asante wɔn ne me producer wabɔ mo de ahyɛ dwumadie nyinaa de ama me sɛ me mmra me de ho kyia me abusua midin ɛde NK Obrempong the grassroots president okuapemai kanea tutu akuapem de hye sɛ nya tena sese pɛ ne wakai sɛ ɛyɛ nokorɛ ɛyɛ pɛpɛpɛ yɔ ɛyɛ yiedie ɛyɛ kwampa biara wɔ man Ghana betimi akɔ so afa ne ntema pa bi de afira sɛ bɛyɛ na wo temamuni wo Ghana ni nso mfa so die bi a bɛba so no wo nsa atimi aka wo de Nyankopɔn anhyira wa mempene da sɛ nanso wagye brɛ sɛ dwumadie yendi emfa mum ɛne nsɛm ahodoɔ bebree ana sɛ de da ne da yɛyɛ ma mo no ɛnɛ yɛde ba begu makwa mu nso ɛde ama mo the finance minister honorable Dr. Kasiel Ato Forsen ɛno ade yɛ akɔmmra hyɛ badwam ɛkɔ kɔka ɔman yi sɛdeɛ wɔn ɛde sika ɛbɔ ɔman yi ho bra so far the past 6 months ɛwɔ ɛyɛ wɔman yi mu no nea sika ahodoɔ a wɔn atimi ayusu ɛde atuatua ka sika ahodoɔ a wɔn ayusu ɛde abɔ ɔman yi ho bra na afei going forward for the next month of the year ebesi no nhyehyɛeɛ a aban no ayɛ na wɔde bɛbɔ ɔman yi ho bra no ne nyinaa wɔde to dwa wɔ dwumadie so yɛbɛbɔ mmɔden na yɛtie nsɛm no sɛdeɛ si fa kɔɛ ne yɛde mu nkyerɛmu ɛsɛ na ɛfata nso atumi aba bɛbɛsom wɔde the mid-year budget review no to gya wie no the minority caucus in parliament led by Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin sorry gyina hɔ sɛ daabi budget wei nsɛm a wɔbɛka nyinaa no wɔn minority deɛ ɛnya deɛ wɔn hyɛ dan hunu no biribiara na mmom no nkurɔfoɔ ahodoɔ a yɛakyekye wɔn koraa deɛ wɔn akɔgu afie ase no saa berɛ yi no the finance minister nkɔka nkyerɛ wɔn apanin sɛ wɔnyae wɔn ɛfiri sɛ ɛno ɛnyɛ kwan papa so yɛbɛhwɛ na afei yɛahwɛ saa nsɛm no a Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin kan no nso no ano yie a the majority nso ɛde bɛto dwa na wɔn de responding to Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin so ne nsɛm yɛbusa sɛ nsɛm yi ɛne nsɛm ahodoɔ aka nyinaa na awia wɔ nso yɛabɔ mmɔden yɛsi nkonnwa na yɛde ba baabi bia wawɔ na wagye berɛ hwɛ dwumadie bi yɛbɛda ne yɛn ho aba yɛnya aba pɛ yɛhyɛ aseɛ de ama wo Mesama wakwaba kasiye bi opa about TV XYZ and Power 97.9 FM inside politics dwumadi esunie ye fasa akonya isune nsema hodo a etwegu o man Ghana ha didi na sene fata se won so betime nya ho ntiase na abribia no wobehunu nhyehyeye pa mpanifo ye ede wo manyin toto ya afa so na ede yedie enwuma sika bibibia be ma wo man mu ayede ede ababesom eye temamufo kai na sene so se ukọ Facebook ayem platforms no wo ho at Power 979 FM TV XYZ YouTube ye XYZ broadcaster ne ho wajebre na inside politics dwumadi etwegu no wabo modern de wadwenkyere de ato ase mere pem no ye bekin kan ensem ni nyina ede ama midi de NK Obrempong Nyankopɔn enkyere amempere sɛ wajebre sɛ ne nso ye ni sa dwumadi emfa embomum ye to dwumadi sinu de ama wa eno de ya ana the finance minister of the Republic of Ghana Dr. Kasiel Ato Forsen ekopiem ewo mrasebedwem na afei wode ensema hodo ana nhyehyeye a efa sika ho sika ye de bo wo man Ghana ho bra ekoto dwa ewo mrasebedwem. That's the mid-year budget review. So far 6 months ni and 6-7 months aye wura mu yi aban kwan be na wafa so atoto ye nsika sem e de na omudi sika na ye wode saa akonta ni nyina enu adai erikopiem ɛwɔ mmarahyɛbadwa mu a wɔkeka economic gains ahodoɔ bebree a aban wei nso ɛbɛtena so yɛtumi anya ɛne 6 months and 5 months aka sɛ afei bɛtumi akɔ na wieɛ no sika a wɔn ayi asi wɔ sɛ wɔn de bɛbɔ ɔman yi ho bra yɛnkɔ mmarahyɛbadwa mu na afei yɛnkɔnkɔ tie honorable doctor ɛyɛ Kesel ato force ne nsɛm wɔ nwurada yi wɔde to dwa yɛbɛto so
to clear legacy arrests, to clear your arrest, Mr. Speaker, an amount of 5.3 billion Ghana cedis has been paid to, Mr. Speaker, to give remaining to free compulsory basic education. An amount of 76 million Ghana cedis as capitation grant has been paid, Mr. Speaker, to support the most vulnerable in our society. An amount of 485 million Ghana cedis to LEAP beneficiaries has been paid, Mr. Speaker, to provide nutritious meal and keep our children in school. An amount of 877 million to the Ghana School Feeding Program has been paid, Mr. Speaker, to ease the burden on families. An amount of 46 million for BEC registration has been paid, Mr. Speaker, to remove financial barriers to tertiary education. An amount of 537 million for the no-fee stress policy has been paid, Right Honorable Speaker, to support teachers, the teacher trainees. An amount of 104 million as teacher training allowance has been paid, Right Honorable Speaker, to support nursing training. An amount of 144 million as nursing training allowance has been paid, Mr. Speaker, to strengthen grassroots governance. An amount of 93 million as assembly members allowance has been paid, Mr. Speaker, to promote skills development and entrepreneur. An amount of 45 million for the National Apprenticeship Program has been paid, Mr. Speaker, to support Ghana's participation in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. An amount of 58 million has been paid, Mr. Speaker, to support environmental sustainability. An amount of 477.4 million to ARICOPS has been paid, Mr. Speaker. In fulfillment of our campaign promise, an amount of 1.1 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture for flagship programs, including food buffer stock, fertilizers, certified seed distribution, Feed Ghana, irrigation infrastructure has been paid, Right Honorable Speaker. To modernize agriculture through the establishment of the Farmer Service Center, an amount of 551 million into an escrow account for the establishment of a letter of credit has been paid, Right Honorable Speaker. To support infrastructure development, an amount of 11.5 billion Ghana cedis as capital expenditure has been paid, Mr. Speaker. To improve road infrastructure, an amount of 6.5 billion Ghana cedis for the Big Push infrastructure program has been paid, Mr. Speaker. To support education delivery, an amount of 915 million for goods and services under the Ministry of Education, including sanitary pads, has been paid, Mr. Speaker. To ensure smooth and effective functioning of government, an amount of 7.9 billion Ghana cedis for goods and services have been paid, Right Honorable Speaker. To protect our rivers, forest reserves, and agricultural lands against the Galamsey menace, an amount of 16 million to the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, has been paid. Mr. Speaker, permit me to end where I began, not with numbers, but with reflection. Mr. Speaker, permit me to end where I began, not with a number, but with a reflection. Right, Honorable Speaker, before this administration took office, this country stood at the edge of an economic cliff. The city was in free fall. Inflation has raised 50%. Our sovereign debt rated junk. Our access to the world capital market had been cut off. And for the 17th time in our history, Ghana turned to the IMF for a bailout. Mr. Speaker, that was the Ghana we inherited. Today, inflation stands at 5.3%. Our currency, the Ghana cedi, has stabilized. Economic growth is above 6% and broad-based. Our debt to GDP is now 45%, years ahead of schedule. The primary balance is in surplus, not in deficit. Interest rates have declined significantly, and Ghana has successfully completed the final review of the IMF bailout program. Mr. Speaker, we promised to move this economy from the emergency room to the wellness center. Mr. Speaker, we have kept that promise. Mr. Speaker, I give this House my firm assurance this economy will never return to the emergency room under our watch. Right, Honorable Speaker? I want to give this House my firm assurance that this economy will never return to the emergency room under our watch. Mr. Speaker, let me be clear. These achievements do not belong to government. They belong to the people of Ghana. Behind every number in this statement is the sacrifice of an ordinary Ghanaian. The pensioner who accepted painful and crude haircuts on a lifetime savings. The bank and businesses that absorbed extraordinary losses and costs. Millions of citizens who endured difficult adjustments so that their country could recover. And the market trader, the nurse, the teacher, the entrepreneur, and the young graduate who lived through some of the hardest months in our recent history and never gave up on his country. Mr. Speaker, stabilization was not won in this chamber alone. It was won in homes, on farms, in workshops, in marketplaces, and through the patience and resilience of the Ghanaian people. This administration will never take that sacrifice for granted. Mr. Speaker, we know that inflation alone does not refill an empty pot. We know that a stronger cedi does not instantly repair a household budget strained by years of economic mismanagement and crisis. And we also know that there is still a distance between recovery and a relief at the kitchen table. But we also know this, Mr. Speaker, your sacrifice was not in vain. It secures something priceless, a firm foundation for our dear country. And on that foundation, we will build the Ghana we want. Mr. Speaker, to every Ghanaian who endured, to the market woman in Kejitia, the farmer in Busunu, the teacher in Wa, the still searching for the opportunity they deserve, I say, on behalf of His Excellency President Mahama, thank you. Your sacrifice is the reason Ghana is standing today. Your future is the reason we refuse to stop here.
Dr. Kessel ato forcing o main foot sound for and finance minister and the media budget review no what they call mrashebedwem na enema hodoa aban a fear way 6 months 6 to 7 months mu aye wura sika hodoa wo matuatua ti obo nurses allowance so beti paid obo teachers paid obo aha paid niema free SHS enuane amofra no bedi paid bibi biara aban abomode etoto enema hodo ahwe se wo man na hoden beko so agina se obehwa in the year 2024 ahead of the general elections na year to abawie kra no na oman inflation at 23.8%. Remember in 2023-2022 na Ghana had the highest inflation ever in the history of the Fourth Republic under the former president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and Ken Ofori-Atta Sabri were journey at free Ghana to America. Se kroma o nsia bio. Ghana had the highest inflation ever. Ne bi nsida. Enu nti na wo koto garia. Ubetu na free ono. Ubeko back in 5 minutes. Ni ya to ade no so. So koto e mo baga within 1 hour ubeko back no near the 50 cities 40 cities ato amount. Na omani any yibia standing bia wodi gina so. Just 2-3 years ago, woman ye bobisia to the sense and near call the bond market no be any person Ghana besia bio. Anunti ananda Nana Akufo-Addo Alhaji Bawumia Ken Ofori-Atta womodi o mani chire Ghana back na emre wane nkokora sika na omode to bond wo aban ne ho. Womodi ye investment ahodo ankomo ba enjoy emfaso e wo so no Ken Nana ya Ofori-Atta na ye finance minister say we seize say sika no. If it's a time no more besia etching wo wiase nyina ma obi abeso be ma musika bio ama almost same time yet wo man Ghana they call IMF for the 17th time say woman ni sika bia da bia it is IMF ma wo a bailout of about $3 billion no Christ can yen fema boom na mum ye ma bia be for 5 months ni abe review ni asan release be $360 million the amount mu wi ni abe review at the harsh conditionalities about to Ghana for so under the MPP but enei aban ba ye ne nhye ye pa wode gu kwam na wahwe se wo be ma bibia ye stabilize na mine economy na gina ne na so ye nsikasem agina brane na enkoye se ene masisa $11 Ghana cedi per $1 adechi e wo se ko 12 and 13 no it doesn't happen that way enti eno ne ekwanya aban we afaso na wo bo wo man yi bra na the finance minister Dr. Kasiela Atoforsen esan ka say Osha Ghana for nyina bo say the economic gains, the economic stability our man Ghana etimi achieve under the NDC no Osha omo say there is no way your friend is saying Ghana be go back to the emergency room with our economy and no the nya dia ebesibio. Enti eno da ya wo man yi sika 6-7 months ni aye aban ebetena ase ne wayi su sika ede aye no ana okom na hyebedwam a okobo ho dawuro na Ghana ni wiase nyina hunu kwan a aban yi abomoden ahyehye niema sesi amene wo de ka say inflation 5.3% wo bra 2024 ye to abawie no even up to 2025 no na ye 23.8% aban yi niema pa wo de agu won hyehye pa wa ye ntia na inflation ababedadin ebaya bedu 3.2% and asia babegina 5.3 and it still shows how stable our economy na here the key performance indicators ni nyina so bibia adwuma de KPIs e kire se wo to aba de ma ban pa wom wonim de fa mamuo ho a ye resources bi sei na abehunu na enkoye se me party nie enti aba no chenchine che wo se me kotokwa ha I have said this and I will continue to repeat it, retract it anytime I have this chance to do it. Say, the NDC for your mind Ghana Sesiano, a modern boy one more bo, fire sick assemble, but administrative works from the presidency to the ministries to CEOs to MDs, everybody said the Omampeni John Dramani Mahama, Edin Sembia to wash say, wa ubebu sa seminosono, was so by yes. To be a man in the hall, no, yet you must have more Ghana for the way in the year. Now, send some there and some pa, ɛka wodoa MPP jato wa NDC abanyaba wo tuatua ni nyina no the finance minister ekoda ho adi ewo mrasebedwam no me na ode ka say owie ya pɛ ana the minority for one sorry led by Alexander Afenyo Market no so sensemi emboa Ghana ni bia de nan kebetimi abo man Ghana no NDC for enye ye dede ana mo baba ye kire Ghana for bibia ni we wo mu a o metima ka say Ghana for enya so mfa so yenkohwe Alexander Afenyo Market the minority leader o mrasebedwam ni nsem a wodi tudwa ebebeto aso.
Honorable members will listen to each other in silence.
Mr. Speaker, the finance minister has just told this House that the true character of a finance minister is not determined by how much he spends. Such a statement must cause palpitation among ministers of state. Mr. Speaker, basically, what he is telling all ministers that he is not going to spend, he is not going to release funds to you. Mr. Speaker, already you are suffering and you've been redundant in your various ministries. His deputy minister told the nation that 1.6 billion was released to the agri minister. Today, he says only 1.1 billion. You see, the true measure of a finance minister is not how much he spends. Mr. Speaker, throughout his review, there was no policy announcement for the cocoa sector. The 4 million farmers, the 4 million cocoa farmers are suffering. This finance minister, since he took over as a supervising minister responsible for cocoa, we have seen suffering and wailing, and he comes here to lament. Mr. Speaker, he talks about determining the true cost of economic policy, the true cost. He's talking about having met some debt. What he has forgotten, that he refused good counsel from the minority. When Gold Board and Bank of Ghana charges on the gold for reserve policy was at 15%, we cautioned. He didn't listen. Later, IMS forced them to reduce it to 9%. 3 days ago, the governor announced that he was no more going to participate in this gold for reserve. It's too late in the day. You've already incurred losses of 9.6 billion. That is what the IMF told you. And you come here, you're saying prudent management of the economy. Really? Mr. Speaker, this review is full of English with empty payment. The payment, he said, is done. He said they've done some payment. Why didn't he give us details? You paid your party members. You paid your party members. The monies have gone to your party members. And Mr. Speaker, the Nkukon Kitinkiti project has now become protein.
Honourable members, I insist we listen to each other in silence.
The Nkukon Kitinkiti has become protein for your party executives. They are all cooking Akukon coin. It is now Akukon coin. Mr. Speaker, I want the finance minister to walk the talk. If you come here and you say 24-hour market, 24-hour market at 42 million cities, and you've abandoned the Agenda 111, the hospitals, that should be your priority. You are not constructing the hospitals. Then you are spending a whooping sum of 42 million, and you say you've released 80% to the assemblies. Mr. Speaker, meanwhile, you are using the assemblies, their own allocation, to pay for the 24-hour economy. When there are no hospitals, how do you say you are constructing markets? Mr. Speaker, this review is uninspiring. There is no inspiration. What we are experiencing in this country is persecution, persecution, persecution. For the first time, we are seeing political imprisonment. One to me is a political prisoner. Mr. Speaker, Camilla Al-Hassan, a young mother of 3, is also a political prisoner, telling you how intolerant you are. And you are here telling us you are running an economy. You want this to be a one-sided parliament. When people criticize you, you threaten them. A lot of my MPs here have been threatened. You are threatening members of parliament with prosecution. Let me serve a warning to the Attorney General that the ravening clouds shall no longer be victorious. They shall not long possess the sky. Be careful. 2028, you'll be in opposition. 2028. If you are not careful, Mr. Speaker, if you don't stop now, you will go and meet one to me there, and one to me will be out, and you will go in. So I'm advising you, let us all be measured. We welcome the reforms by the finance minister, and for the first time, he did something patriotic by acknowledging the digitalization reforms we introduced in government payments. Today he has acknowledged it. Mr. Speaker, we commend you for acknowledging MPP. We commend you, but you can do better. Tell your government to free all political prisoners. Dr. Atuforsen, tell your government to free all political prisoners. One to me deserve justice. Camilla Al-Hassan deserve justice. The MPs behind me that you have lined them up for persecution. Listen, you can decide to imprison every MP. It will not shut us down. We will criticize you. We will hold your feet to account, and we'll make sure you account for every city you spend. But you know what? The good news is that you are on your way to opposition. You are on your way to opposition. So you should begin thinking. You should begin thinking deep. Because there in some cells, in some prison will not be locked up. It will open widely for you. It will swallow many of you. From what we are seeing in public procurement, your situation will be worse. So be careful, those of you who are comfortable. And finally, you claim you want a third term. Third term? Third term. You are not performing. You say third term. Atuforsen, you are here presenting a budget, and beneath it is a third term agenda where you are going to spend money for people to be calling for third term. We are watching you with eagle eyes. Third term, focus on 24-hour economy. You promise 1 job, 3 shifts. You promise industrialization. Ghanaian businesses have lost confidence in you. You canceled the 1D, 1F, which was creating opportunity for the private sector. In its place, no policy alternative. Electricity tariffs have gone up over almost 30%.
Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin, ono ana ye dom kumano bano deni the minority leader ono ano san ye the member of parliament for the good people of Efutu ano original no shase no kasa the wabeka ni nyina the atofosi abeka nyina hwe nyina mu bibia ni mu ebetimi abeboa o man Ghana hanom sei na nkokon ketenkete kura ba ye dano wo mu da ba betu dwa se nkrofo de air light soup ama o ma hwe nkokon no chese bibia ni ho a wono to wono any minority ni de the Dr. Kasiela Atuforsen finance minister de tu dwa no benefit wo man Ghana a ma bebe gina ho na emomo no ya cheche nkrofo MPP nkrofo de omko prison Camilla Al-Hassan ko prison Bernard Ntwibu Asiako the Ashanti regional chairman and nipa dodo na friend chairman wuntumi eko prison na san nkrofo yi ana Atuforsen ko kancho man Penny John Dramani mama say on free womo because they are political prisoners. One more MPP ntini ya cheche womo a ye de omakogu afiase no na se womo ahwe ne ye na se womo yi san nkrofo no a 2028 ane na NDC beko opposition na MPP aba na womo ahwe ne ye a wuntumi pie no na NDC fo ewuram da bia me catch you say me enke Obrempong ade ba ko a ebomi ho mabrabo yi mu ewo Ghana ye wo sesi ni so and say me sorry na matter said there's a political party called the MPP me kind of credit actually ade ba ko pe a ebo me hu mabrabo mu apart from me no me nsuro bibia biewu but say me sorry na me te political party and the MPP a na makometu say me sorry na me te nsem bi e free Alexander Fenyo Markin and don't know and then the president another Dan Kwekufuado Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia and for the first time in the history of this country our finance minister Edi Adeawie no wato nwuram na osili kurom want to be maybe in the Fourth Republic ya yemfamfi Fourth Republic ra Kwame Nkrumah twa wo man yin afruma se waje fa hodie na wo man Ghana din nie no finance minister bia ni wa wadwane afi kurom a apart from Ken Oforiatta unim bia bonidi kira me hwe eka hodoa MPP jatu kurom ha it got to a time now wo man Ghana sika wonya nyina na wo se yede be 90% etua yanka ewa bonten that is why edu baabi na nanda Kwakufuado Ken Oforiatta ba omia se ye ni sika enti enkrofo wo mu di emerewa ne nkokora wo mu aye adwuma wie akọ pension tifie a wo mbehia sika ne atoduro anom na omanye aduane adi no wo mu sika wo mu di ama aban no na wo beje mfaso no na nanda Kwakufuado ne Ken Oforiatta ne ba omia efa asa sika no because wama de besiama in the history of this country 8 years per ultimately the Bobisia over 600 billion Ghana cedis with nothing to show because if you go to the Ashanti region baby abribia MPP ebedi akonya wo kromu ano e Ashanti region that is to minimum a region that gives them 1.7 million to mount the biggest position ewo kromwa ewo presidency wano interchange 5 and another Kwakufuado Alhaji Bawumia promise the people of Ashanti region one kroma ntimi anye but one dey base over 600 billion Ghana cedis in just 8 years the highest ever esi wo kromwa but enei wutie nsema Dr. Kasiela to force de kom na hyebedwam ekoke kan no a sika hodo a ban yi atua adiama eka hodo a MPP for jagu ho ene kwan o matoto economy ya and you watch Alexander Fenyo Markin who is a lawyer a lawmaker a wati amemu ase but enye na manyokuo aneti so ntino bibi biara eye NDC be ye no da bi ye montu gu anyafe but Ghanaians are seeing the results. Ghanaians are getting the impact abiri biya mesese mi hunu mu a na me yema seme if say mo kan ho bi MPP kan ho bi ana o man Ghana from Kwame Nkrumah mreso bepem na wo man yintimi ntu na ne nan ko nanim hwede na nanda Kwakufuado betena so mfie nwotwe de oye kuroi de sika sem ye said the kuroi your education system the free SHS or the buy kura no how bad I want implement sa your friends policy no. And another Kwakufuado the free SHS buy you to told some of the free SHS move because na duane ni wan kwala na bedi enne kohwen kwara no wo mudi wacha beans ti sem kokromuti dem wo mudi nkosua mienu wo mo no milk the rice porridge ene wo mo breakfast a wo behunu the teachers are there and awofo ATM sesi ani nim say and another Kwakufuado na age so mo sani scam o mo ba wo school ansa na o matimi akokanti akoto aduane pedi okoto gari ene nkwan a free SHS nei enya mampani a woda wodwene ne man ho yenya mampani a wo man ne da nakoma so 8 years President John Dramani Mahama see airport wie terminal wie before 2016 obesi from no asi awie Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia the vice president said wono kwakoye yi gate keke wo ye gate na ntime mieda and now mampani buy no wasi wu tu kwan ya obedu no why you belt why you watch why you ring why you hunie nyina ansa na wafa security system no me ne ode kai ko Accra International Airport na kofo wani kwhwa ade machines a ye de aba begu wo eti wu twam wo no ne se wu twam na machine ankasa scan o ye hu bibi boni won ho a ya frew ne ani wadi ano but under Nana Kufuado 8 good years ya fa wa yi en beta yi en shoe beta yi en shoe yen ring yen watch sa ya pa banya ni suade hunu woni tim kona kohwe terminal 1 eye domestic no kohwe under eye Mrs. Yvonne Opari. Penipa wada airport ano. Any NDC aben SCC ahodo a ekoso 8 years. Let's see the input of the MPP. Na saa nneɛma wei nyina ekoso 16 regions across Ghana. Big push ikoso. Ye obi akwan ama no. Ye omo ye Accra Kumasi Expressway. Ɛdeɛ na mo ye wo krom a. Honorable Alexander Afenyomaken. Amuja saa ka twitwi de ni gu ho. Na ye nya aban ya wo ye. And still you have them come out and try say ye betum futuro de gu Ghana fo ani. Da bia me enke Obrempong me say mekoso aka no kore no wa ha de akere wo. Sa wo ye Ghana ni wu tie me na wo be fa ye nyina be tena yedie mu. Na mom se wo bu wani ekohwe MPP fo bio. The current mpanifo e wo ho Alexander Afenyomaken mu a your friend is no crack ding. And when he was talking, he made a statement say MPC ni kasa kra na NDC for threatening them. Say when ye bibia then obi betimi dia threatening. Say when ye bibia say the tribunal bill ya o ma sen obra sebejuma wo me de kokoma president John Dramani Mahama no de ni sasase na ba be ye mra ana ya tete regional tribunal court e be di asem entam so ni ya jeli mu because mo wi o man no. Now, Yehu Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Vice President, former Vice President and flag bearer of the MPP. Your Excellency, don't sign that bill. That bill will be signed. The tribunal bill, it will be signed. Our constitution is on the debo man yibra. Today be a metufu. We are Ghana ni, but be our better menka, ube hunu mibiano. Stand against the MPP any day, any hour, any time. Our be hunu so mo contest for election. One more ba. Omba be cool man we dey free home. Abusia nto aso minority leader sorry okeka sensem ye nyina wie pe ana majority for no say won so je won sema wa kan ye be ma response. Ye hwe majority response a omode ma Honorable Alexander Afenyomaken the minority caucus no emra be beto aso.
Mr. Speaker, let me on behalf of the House thank the Finance Minister for presenting a mid-year review of the budget, which this House approved and authorized him to execute. And Mr. Speaker, I must say that the Finance Minister has given a very good account of himself. Mr. Speaker, just to correct the records, there is no inconsistency between what the Finance Minister said and what his deputy mentioned some time ago. His deputy mentioned that he had given a release of 1.1 billion, 1.6 billion. Today, the Finance Minister reported that he has given 1.1 billion to the Ministry of Agriculture and
that is payment.
And And he also paid 551 million for Farmer Services Center. If you put the two together, that's 1.6. That's one. It was presented. You see, the good thing about this mid-year report.
And the Honorable Mahama Ayariga, the majority leader, and also sorry, and all responded to asema Honorable Alexander Afenyo Markin on also minority leader Edebe Tutu Dwano and na wo chire nsem no se wo hwe the mid-year budget Honorable Dr. Kasiel Atofo Sindebe tu Dwano a ne kwan mu ano no wo yan hye wo mu no a de ebeboa no man fa ntima pa bi de afra no ye wo kromwa 8 years ye hunu ne ekoso wo kromwa nyina na mo ye na MPP for mo ka ana we amachi ono oye political prisoner enti wo bi biara wo ye NDC ni a wo serve wo kromwa whether under Rollins and I say under Tamils up to John Dramani Mahama mumu jeli no are they political prisoners ebi kwada mu wa fiase Victor Solomon mu na oxygen sisi omo so chacho chikata no yare upon a year court ahodo amode de koye na papa we wodi nkunim bia no still na no mote fast track high court under a former president Kufuor ana mode papa yi to afiase wontumi wososo ne chacho chikata wa ho wontumi ososo Kwame Pepra wontumi ososo ne Victor Solomon Camilla Crowder me money din because on ka ho mame NDC fo mama ma kwa fiase wo kroma dan agbodakpi penny for the list is there na de wontumi eye nsase de wa ye nsu osamna boy tano nimiri no kra case no so ahase prepare for more years for chairman wontumi ye wi ayakwa Exim Bank case no ye wi ayase akokoko road contract case no eti chairman wontumi de ane enye easy and MPP ni penny bi asa wo ye MP se wo ye official and Nana Kufuor ene Alhaji Mahmoud Bahom ya memuo a wo tia se wo mra hye bejem se wo tifie a wo man Ghana bibi ewo ho wo patumrika fakọ no mu hunu de omo be because per the information I made tete no munyina mo bedem you all go to prison mo ba we sika mawia ya bobo so okroma through Iyoko through your friend say the Attorney General yani kroma Abdul Wahab Hanan mo kwabna Edu Buahemo give to our mensa or say asibe and still near my pay koso nyina no minim say nya dia mo behu da because mo sa mamu say muntimi mu bi da abisa to media so we are live on TVSYZ on Power 97.9 FM inside politics nie yebekọ yen nuaba wa ha ne wa ba kan say studio ha Vibrant social media commentator de ma NDC amanyoko no abayo aba kan yensa wo dwumade so hanom no me ma na kwa ba na fe ensam ni bia wo ho no yen bia mu enfensom okay akwaba
me joso
na o what to say
yami adom na since His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ye president dollar na stabilize bibia koso de danyami asa
bibia de dadin sa
yes
okay Mate and oko the former late president
yes
Professor John Vivi Atamels ni jumedi awo modi saying na etie and then one kasa bit na kafa the late president Professor Atamels ho and NDC kwan ya omofa so to me
okay, you know, first of all I will say NDC is a political party bia we celebrate heroes not traitors.
Okay,
we celebrate nation builders not nation wreckers. And your coach no say you could see the enthusiasm enipa de bae because Professor John Evans Atamos not a nation builder,
okay,
not a wrecker, and then he lived a life he's a true hero, not a traitor, unlike the other side. And then America say NDC being nation builders no for Professor John Evans Atamos we can still remember the eliminating schools under trees.
Okay.
Because emrebi by na Ghana has na say schools yes you know you can say drias you be yini nefio and until His Excellency John Dramani Mahama even after Atamos demise no or course so obe 6 schools and we got the other side and no more say John Mahama 6 schools one room or 6 schools one room by the end of the day those schools no serve as purpose even to the extent to say ebi wo ho no krampo na nka wo say na nkoto aso no say ehwe na say higher. So this policy of John Evans Atamos it was for nation building. And again, me kakra na enya single spine.
Okay.
And then another one, Min kakra like a whole lot. Ena John Evans Atamos was someone not oyasumdwehine. What I say? And then the legacy he led, no, it is something I was said Ghana for. Very well. Yes, so very well. It was really an
nice one. Yeah. So Basha, the NDC government through the constitution, after my sebedrum, I passed the tribunal bill. Okay. As I be no, ebetimi aboa na and some who do it because of main state interest cases, you know, especially Yediama tribunal courts na wometini edi. But the flagbearer of the MPP, Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, said tribunal has memories be one crop for Akini Mokroma. Enya dia eboa. Ebe yan company John Dramani Mahama. Mom fan in Sanchez Abbey on Asemane Meyembra. Diana will carry a facility.
People, let me first say this. Have you realized that any time the minority side, anytime the minority leader stands up in parliament to speak, the whole parliament turns into a playground?
Oh,
have you realized that? Or sorry na so okasa. Yet CBCC. Or sorry na so okasa na there are tantrums everywhere. Because oye penyininti, I won't say so oye dede. But some of the things now all can, even me, me just 5 minutes, I can debunk everything. Because their side of the parts, the house, are saying it's a tribunal system. It has memory, especially like former Vice President Obrempong. I sent you something before coming. Can you read what I sent you? And then you see, tribunal system, read Article 142 of the Ghana Constitution.
Yes.
And let's take it from there.
Okay.
Because NDC, we talk with facts. We don't just talk. And the tribunal system, I'm saying is say, baby.
Okay, so Article 142, establishment and composition of regional tribunals and qualifications of chairmen and other panel members. 1. There shall be established in each region of Ghana such regional tribunals as the Chief Justice may determine. 2. A regional tribunal shall consist of A. The Chief Justice, B. One chairman, and C. Such members who may or may not be lawyers, as shall be designated by the Chief Justice to sit as panel members of regional tribunal, and such period as shall be specified, written by the Chief Justice.
It was Obrempong,
yes.
You read this thing from the Constitution, right?
Yes.
So what is it that MPP almost want to say? What is it? Because tribunal system, no, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said it has memories. Memories of what? One say Ghanaians no the Gen Zs no.
Yes.
Me am a Gen Z.
Oh, yeah.
But me say NDC kind.
Okay.
Now, Honorable Afenyomakin, I just don't get why he say because when me papa kufoko fast track court by, did anybody say MP?
No.
Nobody said anything. When the fast track court went ahead to jail Chachichikata, did anybody say anything?
No.
Nobody said anything. Into say undi boni because the tribunal system no. And yes say bia Obrempong to who ade be chen kwakwa ade say ye do ko tribunal without say why ye bibi. And then I can say it for myself, said the tribunal system, it is going to hold some of them accountable. And let me educate Ghanaians. Let me use my few time to educate Ghanaians in case they don't know what the tribunal system is.
Okay.
The tribunal system, I'm saying it again, kwa free baby. And then let me use Honorable Afenyomakin because Onanana, he was in parliament and he only represented the minority.
Okay.
For example, before Sebetuaba, the oral, at the some findings be by say, Honorable Afenyomakin as the EC board chair. Containers be
yes.
And then we couldn't find them.
Yes.
Some of them they trace them to an unknown place. Now when the tribunal is in, Ghanaians should listen. When the tribunal is in, now say in case say we are referring Honorable Afenyomakin to the tribunal system. Now what is going to happen is that the tribunal it consists of 3-member committee. And the 3-member committee it's chairman he can be qualified to be a high court judge.
Okay.
Naturally so ni memra.
Okay.
And then society ni be yi nipa mienu aka ho. And for example, na so obi o hene ebe suggesting. And sometimes I use the example the judge, a chief and a doctor.
Okay.
So if these 3 people are sitting there now say you the Honorable Afenyomakin ba say ye findings me na say containers bi ayera. Na udin wo me te bra na be you no. Tribunal doesn't give time for lawyer. Because time I would do bonne no lawyer be you.
Okay.
A lawyer system na ma na ye bisa no question me kwa catch them lawyers and they'll be adjourning cases. Tribunal don't give time for that. The tribunal system when you start to case ye started until say ye be wie. And for example, Honorable Afenyomakin met na bisa say containers no now we are ECG board chair into there's nothing ebe koso ewa abra unim. So were you aware of the container missing or not? The answer is yes or no.
Okay.
And you have to say I am filing for stay of execution for whatever. He can't say that.
Okay.
Into the question is yes or no. Into Suswan pa say sebio if say or your bia containers ni no nim ho. Ope le can say lawyer system na akoka say me person me file it. And then tribunal is not going to give time to that. After the Yebisane say yes or no, fine. When you were the ECG boss chair now, containers fine. So you see, it is going to be you and the law. No lawyer be there's no lawyer.
Amudin 7 in 10
before Obeko appeal Obrempong na ye di wa se mewiama so obedem.
Wow.
Before say Obeko appeal, they said that now you want to person stressy case no. Before so Obeko appeal na ye di wa se mewiama.
Very open what Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia ebe carry far a tribunal bill you were economic penny.
Yes.
And then Sasha said, do you think Sabia MPP for no war oma ye boni bi and then ama Alhaji Bawumia esuro se tribunal.
Exactly, because honorable can say Dr. Mahmoud Alhaji Bawumia.
Yes.
I can say he was pushed to say so because the minority, I have cited an example and say no crack say honorable Afenyo marking ECG containers necessary say then it means he's going into less pressure for the for the tribunal not to pass. I can say Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yes.
The Palugu Dam, when he sit before the tribunal, did you sign for the money or yet? No. Yes or no? And no more to say you turn those can say Bako 10 cedi. Anka Palugu Dam ni Juma. Anka nya say you turn those Bako 10 cedi. Into say season now. And na Palugu Dam catch us or beya manaya the irrigation in the dry season.
That was a multi-purpose dam.
You see, into Sakapalugu Dam ni Juma anka nya say na you turn those 15 cedis no. And again, say the next nas na bisa say gold for oil now wo ka say wo de fango e kwa brochire na wa kwa e wo de gold ko e kwa fa kwango aba no. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia e we he say yes or no. What you say?
Upon all the gold there be a code.
Yes, it's a yes or no. PBS is a yes or no.
Wow.
And they know say most of them they are guilty of it. Until let's push for the tribunal not to be, because see, Obrempong, it is not easy to prosecute. It's not easy to prosecute a politician he just left power because Oscar. It is not easy. But the tribunal or him not to any man, I said the person now him not suggesting will not sit there for you to lie to the people.
Okay.
Because be binting or him be suggesting a system. Yes, and I be binting a man for because or him ankasanya there. And you know that these people they don't malign themselves with politics much.
Wow.
Until they are afraid.
Good.
Yes.
Anyway, so the regional Eastern Regional Tribunal ambassador here no hini bi abenya sakonya na appoint me mpacho. Me pesa me mra na me metina enim ni MPP for.
And you know one funny thing is when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia came in front of the camera.
Yes.
I was expecting the president,
yes,
the vice president to say our social media commentators like myself do your politics without insults. That was a time for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Obeyi ni din free say associating ni din. So you should have used that opportunity to talk to the social media.
But what we see is what a fancy comedy Ishmael political movies after say omababe didi atem omaba kan semwa enim dia company fo hu fi no wi a omko Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia no akọ ha de om say omo ya de om.
So we the society thinks say he endorsed it. So that moment no should have been a time for him. Obeka say nkaka sa de we nko ade.
Mayi mi hu afrim.
And again when na ye wo krom ha Obrempong.
Yes.
Ye wo krom ha na e ka say 99% of Ghanaians said that we did not like e-levy. No ni krom ha.
Sure.
Ye ko fa honorable Kojo Kum. Na wo yare e wo fie e ba ye so ometo aba all because of e-levy. All because of e-levy. MPP for him be some penyin for say MP ben and onya accident still ye didn't pass on meto aba
because of the passage of e-levy.
And then the reason is that they just a simple majority they had. They were not able to do anything better for Ghana. He was here when they were passing the when Yabapa Kufuor was using the fast track court. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia didn't have a problem. He didn't have the problem in the passing of the e-levy. You were in this country when Parliament signed the anti-LGBT bill. Honorable Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia as a Muslim did not even tell us a stance. And then when he went to the president, he was here when the president was writing letters from the Jubilee House not to bring it to the president to sign.
Yes.
He was here when a so-called person sent you to court. He never said anything. Everything which is in the under the interest of Ghanaians, he never said a word. But about tribunal system now, they are out there shouting, oral is dead, oral is dead.
Say who are not saying we. Yanka won't to me one sem kaka. The Accra High Court Monday ya. Mama Bernard and Jimo is yakon. A year chairman won't to me 20 years. Illegal mining activities. Course. Was Samurai Boy. Then I'll come found fees.
You see this. You see the Samurai Boy issue. No, you see like an honorable for your market is in Parliament. Yesterday he was in Parliament shouting free wound to me. I would have been happy if he was in Parliament shouting Ken Oforiatta is here. Go and question him. That was the worst I was expecting from honorable for your market because the Samurai Boy issue now. Ye jelly chema wound to me. No, even in Ghana here, it was just 2 years. 3 years.
Yeah, 3 to
for
5.
Illegal miners.
Yes, I think
and then you cannot tell me say chairman to me at the end of the day in so toy a whole Samurai Boy community in so de koy. You say we should leave him for what reason? Say emrano shen in semana MPP they are not Ghana nyomo. Ghana is for Ghanaians. And nothing that they be may come as me say the youth of Ghana. If you are a youth, not so person join the political party. Learn the political history of the country before joining the political party. Obrempong anchor, yeah, omo joining MPP no. Come up and omo read the political party of Ghana. Omo MPP ni ahwa meto boabon.
And come join it.
No. Because MPP is a political party. That is why when I was starting the Mills issue, I said we celebrate heroes, not traitors. Because it was omo fair bearers and they sell Ghana to CIA. It was omo forebearers and sell Ghana to CIA. We celebrate nation builders, not nation wreckers in the sense that when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was leaving power, he left hospitals akese mienu ewo baby omo vote bank. Ashanti region. Yes, after military hospital and Seria.
Okay.
Omo baye, mo de mo nkwankwa mo fa materials nko gum na ehhehye na enye adwuma keke omo so omo nye. They were wrecking nations here. Everything about them, everything about them, you finance minister Ojane. And you want to compare that political party to a political party which keep building the nation.
I was me pet time KCB and then we said me jaiwa. So you know I have to say 6 February over for you know yeah brother and yaso vibrant and then you better ask say oba best try very well.
Me body I mean to me body one kasa o number 1 me mentor ba akope and na enchiaso nkoma obia otamechi bia no mean to me from my constituency to the region to national otamechi bia no ya me sure bia
very warm vibrant a social media commentator the man this year Amanyoko no abawe ensem egu ni tiri me ba no politics anema wonim na nya de keto abusia ye be call victory garlic mixture for aso ye de aba ye koba na fi aba beto adwumadi nsuma bobode na hwe video no na tie o yare o makopedro ni bito na emmoa o ye kwaba
enua victory garlic mixture na wati ni dina tia ni se na edro ni tie na no pasem ni se edro we adwuma ye titru pa ni se ebeboa ananna ne srade e wo ni padua ni muntin mu ama ohu atọ kura ye dika obabi wo ho a okomfikiri a ema edro a wuhia ye victory garlic mixture ebi kura ho bekwa ewie wansa na ba eye victory e na wunya victory no ma na busumi biara ubenya ofikiri akwa empa ho kura eno de achi a obi wo ho ani ti na ta adwa no obi wo ho ye adwuma kakra bia no abre na nakoma bɔ ne periperi ni nyina ye moja entimi mfa akoma nu nkwa adwen mu eno ne kofa sa ade ne ba odofo mesrewo so wo ho na wonsem ta adwew ebia wonsa no sei ana wonamro mu na esi fom no kura ewew ana ayetufo se de edi fom ato mpaboa mu a eye victory na me kan fom a onum victory asa no ma ye bobɔ so nyina no ebegyae de oto ho na dwo a wontimi na wohia victory emframa nyankopon de ama ye se ye humi wo de wo humi a na wo tie so obra eye victory na betimi aboa wo ye wo bi wo so a wo ho ana ne ye mahye no a obi a na ne ka obi a nya ne hwe obi wo so na koma bɔ ne periperi ni nyina moja ne ntimi ne afusa ne ye wo ni padua no edura wunya ye victory garlic mixture de watwa bra ya bia ya na se kokodue ne nam no no ye ne basa eye victory na me kan fo wunya victory bi no a ebeboa wo se doctor de wato aduro so sani a ubetimi anom victory na ka waduro wonnaa ne se waduro no na abenu ma meat abiasa no anom we so na abenu ma no anom victory no so achi meat abiasa wo ye ne sa bibia abade kama ma So nasi tata we ye japon duma mesraw edura meka mfama wa ye victory garlic mixture mesraw ni pani bia dance ye pese ye fa o ma dance na tie na se so koto a benya sa dance kro no a
ntwe mi nyini mi mpedwa mi ntumi ni di mi yare so mene ko be 12 years ni ma nu ndro mojeduru 5 million de trim matutu ana say na meti TV ntumi na mehwe ne mu say moto ndro bi esi victory heba victory garlic mixture ne mi mtoduru sa ba moduru no asa moduru no eye papa ntumi ni di o mi din sa no me didi afi bi no mo se didi ya na afi insa na afi bi no ntumi ni di bi afi mi di ma edubone sa bi semi anu so no ntumi didi anu so mi be mu sa afi de anu so be du bi no ntumi ni di bi afi mi hu de me nya me won ti edo no kan wo TV so a na me kutu bi ni me no edo no anopa eni awiane anwumre no ande no si afi nyampara mi no adibia ntumi didi mi si afi na tola ta me ko ya black masa modro no die edo ni ye na nyame nhira mo
aje me pa me problem ye menstrual pains nda ne kakra me so me nya me menses no bosom ni ma me bre pa me brankasa me timi to tondro no na ne se man ti se yesi ye bidro ha na makoto ba bia me we timi fa ka akọ obi kuro so ekoto bidro me timi no bi chese na victory ni de in fact I don't know minim de wo mu de me koto obi me ti advert no TV so sada na me so anwunwe na me koto ye na dana me say ade yi to me padi mu no moja tropa yi to me padi mu ti me twa to me phone so kura say ha adwene a enka me de betum aka ho na mo ahwe te se wa hwe ye kwa baka se na bia me ya bo hye na me no maduro bi te se efi sada na yi sa moja troa no to me padi mu no me nya mezi se no maduro e ma me hu sa emoja se bi like say kwoti te se ni nyina flow kama ti victory tie mintimi enja ento ho to de bia na mo ba abasa mo me so abasa na eduro ne me di hu adanse
obi si me de cholesterol sa de bone e na aba mi nipadua ma be di atenase waduro ye victory garlic mixture se wunya victory ni no ma cholesterol ne se ne nani e density bia no victory be yi ni nyina afi nipadua no odofo wo pe bia to anama ne 024 25 45 633 024 25 45 633 and 020 129 3280 020 129 3280 eya victory mkunimdie ne ade bremu.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Hi, Now, let me tell you about Safari Valley Eco Resort, the first of its kind in West Africa. Upon your arrival, you are introduced to your butler, who plans your itinerary.
We were surrounded by wildlife from the moment we entered the eco park.
So many activities, all in the same premises. Visit the gym or the stables, they have it all. At my break, I'm able to practice my putting.
We also went fishing on a man-made canal. Our tour guides taught us so much about the wildlife and how to interact with them.
They used only electric vehicles here. This creates a serene environment. I'm told it's over 1,000 acres. My cabin here sits on 2 acres with a large terrace space overlooking my private swimming pool. Now this is royalty. They have their own farms, thousands of fruit trees. I can also have my lunch here at the waterfall. Quite a beautiful place you have here.
Visit Safari Valley Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Simon Akwabaka CBO at about TVSYZ and Power 97.9 FM. Inside Politics, Jumedi Sini, Safe now do Casafidi Atoha Memo Akwaba, can only any Jumedi mum and copy him 6 p.m. Bebo if it's a Quenya iso, and a year fan in Sama Hodoa, Echegu, Ewo, Mangana, and yet Timidiasumo Ufi Ukem, and I said, well, Jumen Baby, a Waji Brenna, or Shane, live on TVSYZ, and I said Power 97.9 FM. This one now share on Facebook at Power 97.9 FM TVXYZ. Name of Mobile PMO YouTuber XYZ broadcaster. Ne one so waje bre. Na ya know what did you make the album copy 6 p.m. But when you na yenkoso enter to adwene M1 hye pa penifo de egu akwam sebe one on my way. Afa na ntoma pe be de friend. Ne me black na de man hye ne kwa. Menua pani ba kwa egu Efrimo ewo tutu akuapem. Harrison Mante Amoa. Uru tutu akuapem na obi afre Donkin. We free mo aja se enya asem keto akra nti ne me black na emo den yie pa yes many abre fi se menua pani Efrimo nti no Donkin busuafo nyina ye mo bia shedin ye mo bia yakọ da bia meka ababeka ya brabo ho ti ye nam ho abiri bia na ye sori ane abom pa ye de ada nyankopon ase ba bia ode ya baba bedu ti okotutu akuapem na kro no nyina yetum Donkin Harrison Mantiamoa womo 18 or 1 week busia ye to adwumadi no so mfem mam ha na meka o se Okada 247 aba ko Google Play Store na say App Store CCA na download the Okada 247 app no say o person order aduane wanka say na person want Okada so na won fan ko baabi be ba cha Okada 247 for mo ba wo my well prepared riders no o ba dress kama kutom helmet mienu wo show de no ahye ne de wo de wotena so traffic regulations say wo kwan so nyina wo mudi so en sokokọ no watwam abribia no na wo mo hwe safety eboa na say wo suma obi on fa package mreo mo Okada 247 enkoji FM round ti download the Okada 247 app no App Store na say Play Store na shase ani omuni dwa na obehunu sampa makanfo at the party amount Okada 247 or say let's go safety proudly Ghanaian abusia yanko agbozo heba clinic for aso yemfemera wono no se bema wonwu ya ne bema enwu wo manka so ma studio ha nsemo a wo maboa na wo de ba besom doc akwaba
mejo so panyikase
na bibia bokọ de
nyankopon adome ho ye papa na agbozo heba clinic dia na pampi ni ntina de bia bebetena
ojina mo Ghana for ye crowd wo mutie wo mo hwe nenso de na agbozo ewo ma
mema obi biara aju emma empanyufo Ghana empanyufo mo hwe ye so efi asofo so ekokọ pim nananom so ahemfo ani obi a Dr. Agbozo say mechia obi biara nyankopon adom timigiri se ohoye na mesra so obefem me waso na watie sebi mensem a me de betu wanimu yi na sebi mpereduasa yes se bodam ni aka sebi nsemhunu duwa maako wo mu ayedan a ubehia de to hofo enti se mabetra ha no masem nyina ne se ye moto no yes no man has an expiring date. Agbozo Herbal Clinic, no man has an expiring date. Yen and I have fat you also say a memedru. Ye beboa Emma, a memma, a memma. yɛbɛboa me mma nso ayɛ mmaa na wahu sɛ anigye no da bia meka sɛ ewia ɛnhyɛ da anyɛ de but obi bɔɔ no nwuma sɛ anadwo yɛ de papapapa anadwo ɛyɛ de ɛsen na no nyinara na sɛ meka sɛ yi na woyɛ bɛrima waware na wotwe mpena na wopɛ sɛ wompena twem yɛ den wawade mu yɛ den a wohia agozo herbal clinic yɛ duro no bi yɛ mɛma duro no hia na da bia meka sɛ mɛma duro no ɛnyɛ sɛ sɛbi boba na ba wo nkyɛn nko ana agozo herbal clinic wobɛnom yɛ deɛ no daa bi yɛne yɛ mɛma duro no yɛ ne sɛ wode hyehyɛ nipadua no de asi hɔ ayɛ sɛ sɛbi police anaa sogyani a wɔnam de bi a ne tuo ɛka no ho ɛne yɛ sɛ yɛyɛ ɛno ani ne yɛkɔ yɛnim saa ɛna agbozo herbal clinic yɛayɛ yɛ mɛma duro no ɛne yɛ nkooko aduro no sɛ fa siesie nipadua no to woyɛ bɛrima a wonom no na ɛma vigor and vitality ɛma wahoɔden akasa ɔbaa nso ɔnom no na ɛma vigor and vitality enti sɛ woyɛ bɛrima na wowɔ erectile problem mfie no akɔ anim a ɛnyɛ problem wobɛhia yɛ treatment package ni bi agbozo herbal clinic bi a Dr. Agbosim bɛtena ha wunti na maba bɛtena ha na ɛyɛ ana amanfoɔ sɛ yɛbɛyɛ dɛn na yɛnsa kempakyɛ wofra agbozo herbal clinic a yɛyɛ package ɛkɔ baabi a wo bia na mmom no mo a mobɛnkran ha nom no woba clinic hɔ dom nso a ɛno nso yɛgye tum papaapa ɛne sɛ ebi a woyɛ bɛrima na obɛrima no mu nyɛ den ahoɔden nim ade a ɛyɛ ade bi a meka ne sɛ wobɛrima no ɛbɛsɔre na ɛmu nyɛ den ɛyɛ yie papapa ansɔre kora nkɛyɛ but asɔre ɛmu nyɛ den ma wo wobɛhia yɛ mɛma duro no bi package no ayɛ ready ɛde ama baabi a wɔwɔ the whole Ghana yɛde bɛsɛnde wo kama mu a mommɛn nkran no anaa wommɛn Kumase wommɛn Ntɛma frɛ me ankasa ɛnɛ me se wo yɛ a frɛ me ankasa anaasɛ WhatsApp me ankasa wɔ 0241 75 0282 0241 75 0282 mɛma duro no na mebɔ ho dawuro ɛde ama wo no yɛbɛkɔ so aka ɛfiri sɛ ɛno ɛna ɛma bɛrima anigyeɛ kɛseɛ ɛno na ɛma yɛawadeɛ so yɛka home sweet home a ɛnyɛ da biara na aduane ɛyɛ da wɔ nipa no mu deɛ ɛma anigyeɛ ɛba efie ne sɛ sɛbiade asa ɛna bɛrima ɛne wɔ baa mo nhyia mu ɛne mo nkitahodie akɔ successful ɛde anigyeɛ kɛseɛ bapa ɛnti sɛ wo mpam agodie nyɛ woyɛ bɛrima na sexually woyɛ out premature ejaculation how Dr. Agbozo nkyɛn ɛna baba from 0241 75 0282 31 packages 2-in-1 packages ne nyina wɔ hɔ ayɛ bɛsɛnde ɛde abro bebia wo bia it is a sexual weakness erectile dysfunction preparator clinic ne Agbozo herbal clinic for yɛ doctor vigor and vitality medication no ɛmɛmɛ duru no deɛ ma ahoɔden mi pɛ bi Agbozo herbal clinic yaba sɛ yɛba bɛboa Ghana mɛma no woyɛ aberanteɛ wode bɔɔso ana aba bɛsen woyɛ out mepaakyɛw sɛ wo ho ɛyɛ dene wɔ mpam na wompam agudie no so ani a na woyɛ sexually sound woyɛ sexually okay woyɛ sexually oriented a ɛba saa ɛmaa no twa kuruse ɛna ɛmaa no so bebree nso moate nka tete kɔ mepaakyɛw vigor and vitality aduro yɛ wɔ bi nti woyɛ ɔbaa nso moate nka nyɛ bɛrima so mu a wonte hwee mepaakyɛw bɛfrɛ Dr. Agbozo ɛwɔ 0241 75 0282 0241 75 0282 0241 75 0282 wobɛfrɛ wɔ 0241 75 0282 wopɛ yɛ aduro no bi ato na sɛbi ho ayɛ dene na sɛbi mprɛdu atumi abɔ adwuma no a yɛwɔ packages a yɛyɛ kamakama na yɛde abrɛw enti no frɛ me wɔ 0241 75 0282 ɛmɛmɛ duro no ho asɛm ɛna me ne wo ɛka no ɛna ebiom ɛyɛ kooko aduro no mo a kooko ɛha mo ɛyɛ ana obi wɔ hɔ nom a as doctor me de kooko deɛ mepatwo kooko yɛ ade a wɔ ho ɛno na ma mɛma bebree ɛyɛ mmerɛ wɔ mpam number 1 wowɔ hɔ nom na woyɛ bɛrima na sɛbi kooko agye wo nipadua so afa wowɔ hɔ no w'ani kekaw na wo mini mu kekaw na wo sisi ɛyɛ wo ya wogya wo nan a mogya wom obu a wogya ne ana ne kɔkɔbɔ apie bɛrima kantika wa bɛtiketi wogya wo nan a na wo kɔkɔbɔ apie ahoɔde ne yɛ ahea sɛ ɛba saa na wokɔkɔbɔ pie yɛfrɛ no hemorrhoid no ɛma wokɔkɔbɔ no pie paa mframa ɛkɔ mu ɛna bɛrima nso asɛbisɛbi mpiredua wogya na ya mogya aba no ɛnyɛ ɔbaa na ɛwɔ sɛ sɛ bɛdu bosom a ɔhu mogya anim nti sɛ woyɛ bɛrima na wohwɛ me na kooko ɛha wo kooko mpo deɛ bɛrima deɛ ka mɛntwɛ mpo nya science and centimeters pam sɛ no akasa agbozo wopɛ yɛ aduro no bi atɔ ɛfiri sɛ yɛdi starch food nti tama yɛdi fufuo na wowi mankani na wowi bayerɛ no wasɛbisɛbi mpiredua ɔsɛ saa nneɛma no ɛɛtoro na ɛdane wei awɔ wo nipaduam na mama ntɔso na aga ne starch nti wobɛsɛ kura sisi mu na ama kura ba sisi mu afei otu hɔ no mu a osisi mogya no wɔsɛ di mu afurusane no ɛno ni afurusane na mama nko a ɛwɔ sisie no nti ɛba saa bo sɛ ɔtra se kakra wo sisi yɛ duro no yɛ koko aduro no ɛbɛyɛ ama mo driver foɔ no ɛna yɛ maame mo a mo tena dwom ɛkyɛ ɛne mo a mo tena se kyɛ bankers de ade no koko package no pacho fra o se me pembo hemorrhoid package ni bi anase me pe package a me de be sami koko man koko adro no nyese se bi obenya koko mpo anso no manom de biara da e wo so no na wash o cleaning system num o ti ase eyiyi efi e wo ni pedua no dum a eti from 0241 750282 ya wan kran kwashiman ye ben kwashiman Chiefs Palace na ho e na Dr. Agbozo mi wo o pese sabi o de package ni bi ana tema your community 25 Savannah Junction timo amben dowenya afienya ehon mo nyina ne tema honmo any ashaman no mo frɛ 0557 40 26 96 0557 40 26 96 o Kumase mo am northern region se hwi honmo nyina mo ben Kumase no mo frɛ 0553 41 7752 untumi ma be part of frɛ ye be package di abrew o send o sika de ma yɛ mfa o sika ndi ba bia wo bia ye de ba kɔma ka na de abrew entinya gidie wo yemu efitie mitimi mɛkyerɛ fidie kɛsie so enka sɛ sabi o to edro we ho ne agye o sika mfa mrew ye nya bi da enti no o Kumase a 0553 41 7752 0553 41 7752 enti ye moto no de offer us no man has an expiring date o ye bema na se bia baby 1% crofo beti de o de offer us doctor no man has an expiring date mate de opa kira se enti se o ye bema na untwa tew koko haw usisim ekura bemu trase a yenye yie me pa cho ohia Agbozo ye memma duru ne bi bema de gina so na ye mfra omiwura ye ye adwuma from Monday ekokopim Saturday 7 o'clock am anopa na ya hye adwuma na se me se package ni babia wo bia se ehefa na hye wo Ghana ha bolega wa tamali ehefa Fred Dr. Agbozo de hia ne se ye de akoma no station unsa beka enti package ni 2 in 1 or 3 in 1 or na mo a sabi mpredu ya sa prostate ha no fu ani kire clinic hodom tie me ye mo a prostate do eham no e wo se ye scan what you say enti eya amomfa moni enkyere clinic ho no mankasa se o Johnson problems bi wom niam nkitikiri twitwa Johnson ntemu a bra clinic ho no na ye ntwe mam na sabi mpredu ya sa mo a low sperm count wa ho se bema ututuo nanso enkum aboa sperm count no fam Dr. Agbozo say fu ani kire Agbozo Herbal Clinic na ye mo aduro konom fibroid ne ha oba Agbozo Herbal Clinic ye mema aduro no enye mema nko na enum ye mfa de se for ma ne mema nyinara enti ma mu ni atenka be ma wo ni atenka me pa kire Fred Dr. Agbozo oba wo ni atenka Fred Dr. Agbozo me bre no aye bre ntimi ntimi kasa bibiri na e bia wonsa adwojo ona adwojo yade no doso ye ntumi mo ni nyina so ha Fred Dr. Agbozo na bisa na mo no ba cho package ni de ba bia wo bia ye be send ede ama kama na nso saka e be kire so be si anu meduru no etu fra wo si me meduru no na koko die no infections ahodo die no ye wo bi me sorry enti Fred Dr. Agbozo na enimi ni nkomo 0241 750282 eno ya kra ena tema 0557 402696 ena Kumase 0553 417752 yes no man has an expiring date same time next week
Agbozo Herbal Clinic no especially mema ne de wunya kodru hope wa be hu sampa niema hodo ha wo wariyem ne relationship ni nyina betimi aba from yepa. We are still live on TV XYZ and Power 97.9 FM inside politics Jumedi Suni ma menka wo say extra natural mineral water e nsu krogin a emuda ho a nnuanenu ahodo a wo say nsuo nya na wonom a wonya hotoso wɔ apɔmuden ho biara no nsuo abɔmɔden de ma wo nti wankasa abusuamu no nyinaa wɔyere wo ma wo maame ne wo papa abere bi ɔmbɛnom nsuo nyɛ saa hotoso no to X natural mineral water na fa kofie na abusuamu no nyinaa nom bi sɛ wobɛyɛ yie wobɛyɛ wedding party engagement dwumadie bi a wobɛdi anipa hodoɔ na ɛba hɔ no nsuo a wobɛtumi de asomɔm ama obi anya saa apɔmuden ho ahotoso no X natural mineral water bi sɛ yɛafa kwan soronko so ana wɔmɔde ayɛ nsuo yi a ɛba bɛboa na nipadua na abere bia na ahoɔden atimi atena mu bi a na wɔ shop advert yi kɔ so yi wopɛ nsuo yi bi na nso de agu shop mu na watɔn mepakyɛ ɔfrɛ number mede ba bɛto dwa no na ɛna ɔfrɛ ɔmo a wɔmo bɛma nsuo yi bi atɔ na afei nso de agu shop atɔn agye ho mfaso agu bottom 0596273546 0596273546 ana 0596273547 na afei watimi onsatimi aka X natural mineral water wɔmo nsuo no bi abusua yɛnkɔ Natural Ventures for wɔmo ɛna de Sokoto balm ɛne Congo ointment aba adwama so a ɛdi dwumadu ahodoɔ bebree wɔn ankasa atena se deɛ mema wɔn akonya na afei wɔn mfa aduro yi mu nkyerɛmu ɛsɛ na ɛfa time ɛmɛsom na wote yare mu a wakɔkɔ tobi director bi abɔkɔ deɛ
medwo so bobra me ho yɛ papapapapa
ɛdɛ nyankopɔn ase ɛnɛ nso Ghana fo ayɛ krado
yɛ ma odue
due
pa yes no we don't expect it nti aba owó nso kan ho sɛ deɛ wa kan nti yɛnhwɛ na yɛni dwa nso mesrɛ wo a sɛ wo honam yaw no ɛnkɔɔ na ne wonya Sokoto ba Natural Ventures me nka nkyerɛ wo sɛ aduro no deɛ amanfoɔ tontonton no bata career dɔso nti ɛhu krambo papa obiara sɔde na so wonya ɛyɛ anwa bi na ɔde frɛfra nneɛma bi a na wɔtɔn ne sɛ wɔnya duro na kurom ha nso obiara nso yade a ɔpɛ duro ɛbɛsa no yade anze wontimi ntena se ya kyɛ sɛ wankasa no wodan ka wontimi ntua o ma school fees wontimi ntua opa ho a wonhunu wasenem okɔ adwuma 24/7 bɛde wontimi ntua ho aka enyi obi na ayɛ wo bɛde dumre bi nso a wankasa nso wontimi hu sɛ adwuma a woyɛ we mfa sika bi amrɛ wo wɔnom ayɛ adwumaden no sɛ nka adwumaden na masika de anka ne wɔn a edwa aboa no wɔn etu galamsey nkom wo sika so obi akurum ha nyɛ saa na teɛ etu do ho ahyem ɛyɛ adwumaden ɛbɛbɔ ahomakye na ɔmiɛnsa na ɔte kurum wobɛpɔn a ahomakye no ndumienu na abɛpɔn enso yebusa 1000 cedis kura woni bi wabra ma osisi no wobɛka sɛ enhoma no asuso sisie no emuo no ayemre etu kotokura wontimi mfa de fom adwumaden de ɛyɛ o adwumaden ɛyɛ pa nanso mesrew wo de na ɛyɛ aboro waya ma eniema nsisi so mesrew aba ne saa no abonse da bia wanya chronic body pains bia wo yɛ ho hwe enye nti amanfo so de ebo skipping rope anopa na wo mo ɛyɛ jogging hwirihwiri yɛ press up ne ade no wo de ne de wo de na esi form kra asa wo nan no empane bi wom pains na no yɛ den obinom so wɔ hɔ a ɔmo chronic yade bi yɛte wɔn so nti da bia no bonsa ne system no wabrɛ nti ya no wɔdwene sɛ ɛne ma menum nnuro yi amanfo no no mi bi painkiller bi ni ade a obi wa doctors na prescribe bi ama no but obi on so dia wono a wote se ne honam ba bia ne ya no wono maduro wa anhwe ya yam prescribing fema wo a wo benum akwa akoduru se wo saabo no eso ne nuane nnuro ne nsuo so wo nipadua ne mu no ebe ya adwuma abre enti se ani ye kokwa abo nse na edane ya tuntum na chese wuo na eben wo eno nti na obeda be so de se obi anya kidney yade na kidney infection ye gisika asemase bentene de akosa ne yade wodede saaba gisika ne be wie no wawu na ayasam kese mesrew so honam ba bia ya wo ya se doctor prescribe aduro ma wo amanum o na aduro a wo betimi di asra ba bia honom eye wo ya me ma prescribe di ama wo eni Sokoto ba eno no ayete se wo nsa ye wo hoyi wo pagya ade a na asemu atwem wo ho a wo fili se wo enkase bi wo wo nsama no mu on se de me ye me die se wuntimi nye etida bi age so no ansuo hie tututu na do nsa na wuram te se akokɔ a etutu ne ho menu aba ma eye problem ma Sokoto ba enye nko ade besra ba bia pain ni wo bia na wo de odwade wi afa bisra apply it 2 times in a day Sokoto ba adwuma a ebo ne nyagoro awonu nya nkɔ yi o awo no still na no egusu awo ho ase nsuo tokusukuku bremu ne ewe enti wo de ane de sa woba na woda sode anopa wantimi anwade nsuo hia na samo abafie ena ajeyi ena buyi edi say no the boys ne pen tackle from behind ya jeso mu gina kire ye niema ma niema koso yi wo de ane de bia wo nankokomu sasa ye ka obutu ane yi check de ato am wasan bia wontume nye kire se wo nkotodwe nyina wa ye mmere masokoto ba amye wonku fasra wo nkotodwe no wanentu wonom sciatica pain wahu wonamuro mutitibi sresra ho sisi yade no wo de wo be man so ne se ai se osisi no ahode ewom na kofom a amanfo keka wo mo se wo mo tibi e de sha asawam e de tua na dwuma ebo no enya sam ketwa ebeyi pipi ni nyina de afiri amaman no etete wo no yam de ko sa ebeyi ni nyina ko baby ayo ya wo kon na ya wo ya fa bi srasra so uti na ya wo ya mesra wa betim kura bie so atwetwe bia ko mu anase bia woda wuhwa nkromo dodo mia bi tunsu ohiem eya gel umia de tunsu ohie no mu a ebe nane na de watwetwe akotim woda nkromo a wuhwa seti hippopotamus no dinosaur ni nyina beko na wa home kama ama woda nso ankwada no ansura najo edro di Sokoto ba natural inventors for na ye ya chiri kwan no ewo danso mankana ha ya etiko ba bi eto nro bia benya bia to ewo ho pharmacy shop ne chemical shop bia no obenya eye Sokoto ba mi bia to metie me da sode anopa sanse ne mahwemu ya anopa mi fifie no machini TV ni radio stations ya me nya nrufie mekoduru bi on ma 10 11 12 etubonso obe kwa akoda wo sode no bonso wo namuro mu nyina twetwon wo nanu asifam ne twetwon enya goro ti Sokoto ba mini hu agoro ebi o mfie eno ana medesra ebeboa papa bi a wapagya ade ama wo nsa aise emuje wo ke ebi a wati abo bi so ama ona atweste ompaboa na wo hye na ase mia wo kakra nti wo na akotoa no etwum dwim eya wo ye ntu ntimi kura nhye shu eya apply Sokoto ba why numbers no eye 0249 017 101 0249 017 101 and afa 0204 61 Mr. Ofreyen na dodo obi a wo patuo no ye ma obi na nso tonzeze no ana nkrofo ton di gisika ewo kuremu Mr. wo a okon asa obeda besode no na aye o se wada akon so na wankasa adasumiye so wa hunu ho ano obeda atimi ada akon so amena yeye ekon nso ye straight nti ye kasa wada akon so a ede na aba wunti no problems aba ho Mr. wo fa Sokoto ba fa sresra ebetu pen ni nyina se mese sciatica pain bi wa twen wa ma to ase ya se ekura no enya goro mapopo ame 90 akonwa isue no obi wa wo sode afia akonwa so agese ye pagya no sanse ni nan ni nyina ye titiriti eya apply Sokoto ba eno ana beboa honam ya obia asebetu ama woda watimi ada tuudi mankoda na mfa nsraw wachiri bremu wachiri kase no ya na ye wo ya wotena se wakonwa ne ntimi mmoa wo enti wuntimi nso mfa konwa ntuko anko ba bia tube kofie no ye so ha wo se agye ti da bia na ma wuku aso won kwabonten nkoye niema wo ho waye mre mesraw ma Sokoto ba emewo ne fasrasra numbers ne 0204 61 61 61 0204 61 61 61 ave 0249 017 101 mesanso obaako ha we ne yefre na almighty Congo ointment abusuan ho bon sent na wo ho na no ye den enti udwade dress kama oba kama wo utwamu ani atwe ani abehwe bema kama ubosi kama kai ubosu anwi yiguso singlet yi da so na oboa ya akono ne nkore de wonsa ne nenam so enso oben wa wonya hwene ntino wuhyi omkora wuntimi enyi watade sent na wo ho na no ye den mesra wo so wo sa problem yi bia emia bia mfifire tatatete ho no eya apply bi ho obu ampompo abobo no motuom oyi ne motuom sesi a no yususu ana se spray bia na empompo abobo no nketinketi bi ayi obi kwan kora ma da bia no bonse ne nantem wani ade wontumi nante se mpompo ta abobo wa baabi ampompo ne bobia hu se ayi ne tia fa Congo ointment sra so ebemna de medehye ebefi okra anya de ebepie na de apie nso aye kese no ebemna pai se to na yi badwo na firim amwade ho unantama propro edu yu mpabo ato anakana ma befa sente wo na ho nya goro una ho nyina wo hwehwua na aye style bi mesrew apply Congo ointment eho awo ho me bossa kora pa me yi meti wanu na mkoyiye me yiwie ya umdi nsuohie bi fefafa meti ho kama me wie na meti Congo ointment bi di fa meti no ho enti wo betete ho se de anya de sensan begu ho so you pubic areas ni nyina apply Congo ointment no ebeboa ma se efu a ensan bi ama ho we no yaton drugstore pharmacy shop ne chemical shop ba bi eton no bia benya bia to ho fa boa na fa siesie wo ho eho ase betu ensan ni na agu ho na manie wanimu na nso oben ebetu ase de afiri ho ama ho na pimples nso ni nyina be kala e de ama ho mesro ya numbers no eye 0204 61 61 61 abemu abia wo ye guy oba bi o ye guy bia no roni shoe to wa 1% socks no yi to a ne make office ya 1% bia esanse o the Congo ointment e hye ne na murumu e na akum eye ekuro ene fungi wo ho no mu nyina ma propro no so afiri ho ekro me so frɛ numbers no eye 0204 61 61 61 and 0249 017 101 0249 017 101 Natural Ventures your numbers no nti fra yen na dodo obi a pɛ no so yemfa emre bra
we see Natural Ventures na wate o monka kona kopo medro bi to na wate yare o ma ebebo yi pa we are still live on TVSYZ and Power 97.9 FM inside politics jumedi sunie ye beda na ye ho aba ye nya akoba pe Charles McCarthy chief editor at the Hawk newspaper and afi Kojo Yeboa ono ye former youth organizer edema MVP amanyo kono ewo ayawa so wo so gono pede for mi no aye ready a ye dane ye ho ba pe nsema aka nyina ye ba bebiem twa ye ba sia.
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Na ede na ya obayi a oda forma so ne yafunu mu emunumuni.
Oh, Mr. Entry, also yare ya titi be benfie pi nanso ne yemu nyono da. Se me chew no ahodo amato a me hunu hwe a ebe ya nwanwa.
Menyi ni se what ulcer tamfo Haxa capsules any Haxa mixture yanum bom kotia ulcer no bia ma no anom. Anka ne ho ato no dadaada. Ulcer dro de eno ne Haxa capsules any Haxa mixture.
Ankom ni nchiremu.
Ulcer ye kura eto yefunu ene ensunu mu. Etumi a wo yefunu ekeka wa. Wo gire ho a enyi. Ulcer etumi e ma wo ye check baako ebra wedidi awie somehow eye ulcer de a compare Hexa capsules and Hexa mixture nanum bom na ho ebeto
Pedudu etu a ko Okanshi drug lane Kumasi Dani Herbal Takrade AA Mensa Anafre 02038228555 Apinfo abatan a woma won mofra no fo ene mofra woni mfie dumienu enka ho Hexa capsules ene ne mixture
ulcer tamfo edie age adwadie nkratoyi yi atom
247 efani person deliver parcels
personal me so no pana me kwadwuma se ya atuma dwendwen asane traffic nti efi se menya Okada 247 me tuntam abribia
don't just get there on time Okada 247 that's right on time Okada 247 it is the best
Okada 247 or you safe pa everyone are CCR na waba we disappoint so that Mr. CCR on na mefa
they be am pay transportation affordable Okada 247 and no name choice
247 it is the best Okada 247
download Okada 247 app na our phone so say Android and iOS Okada 247 me yamfa wonko amobamba kwanso
Okada 247 it is safe
If okra na menyisika edia ye mefui
Ehin fa na menya bosia edia tre medwuma yimu
Kai kra mabre mi yebusia ato taxi fufu Suhum Rural Bank
Suhum Rural Bank
Yemamwa kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia ekoko bosia susu account and it does our savings account me bada chain savings account and the keka ho Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186 na won so wetu mi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank ama ene mayeka una
Suhum Rural Bank enti me pa minie
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Obrempong eye adwumada. Eboa eyam aduane. Eboa eyi nsa free ni peduanim. Na eboa woni pedua ma etena ho yie. Nanso, wonim se niema a yedi na yenom. Timi ma brebo ye adwumaden sen pote.
Me hu da. Me brebo ye adwuma pa. Ebia se me ntumi ye bibi boa me brebo.
Ani, and nointing I want to live here from the Moses Clinic, they have our center about herbal food supplement. We sit pa de boa brebo, ama e ye adwuma ye.
Na, ye adwuma.
Fatopa ye no, anopa ne anwumre. Na eboa ma obrebo ye adwuma ye sane ebe ya ebetimi anyam aduane a wodi esiesie ni peduane mu eyi mu finsi ye
eno na me brebo kia pa
Ubenya Life Kit or pharmacy, herbal shops, ne supermarkets a ebeo. Sa wo pedudo so etu a. Fresh 0244 06 8447. Life Kit. Wa wo brebo, wa wo ni pedua. Edro yi enye ma apemfo. Ema ema omomanofo. Ne mmofo a wonya mfie dumie. FDA age dwedie krato yi atum.
I'm Simon Akwa Baby about TV XYZ and Power 97.9 FM inside politics Jumedi Sene ha nsema hodo etwegu o man Ghana ha no ye fa sa akonya iso na ye de asomo baby a waje bre na wo hwen yana se wutie anwumre we midin de enke Obrempong na afi ye ntwa ye Jumedi ne so a mamenka o sa Victory Garlic Mission abadwama so Anian Enterprise for na de aba wo mo say wo ye obi a wo ya de kakra na afi kuma bo kinkinkin no abre on sane on anyina timi ye chichiri pa ohun de oye dizziness na etete wababo kona kopa V3 galamisha nanom ebeyi sa yare anyina de free hodi ama ka na hyɛ nso sɛ Anian Enterprise for ne de V3 galamisha abedwama so we pharmacy shop herbal shop na opa dro bi etu aton a frɛ Anian Enterprise for number yi so omo beje osine mo ko kan shikin so ka wenye dro no bi ato sisi amene o de ka sɛ number betimi afrɛ mo so 0201 293 0201293280 and 0242545633 na fe wetimine Anian Enterprise for Edin Shemo Safari Valley Eco Resort e we fe yi pa a o mesese o nya holiday vacation bi na opese wo nkwa na ojojo ho na wona we yire abusuamu ni nyina akonya da hode ma wo kwa wona be hu kwan o mafa so creative man lake wo ho o ma ye harmless zoo e mo ewo mu no betimi ni bi kredi agro o manya wo hwe dan papa o masi nuane a ede we ye company we be a conference bacho frɛ omo omejo so ama nice space now dey decide media no a year wedding engagement party spaces wo ha Safari Valley Eco Resort for the ma no wetimi decide media omo wo kwapema mu okugwa kwapem ene adu kuro ma kwapem patem wo down no masisi ho kama kama wo mo ho frɛ number me dey tudwai nchirimu aka bia omo de besomo 0596 914394 0596914394 and now visit your website no www.safarivalleyresort.com na fi omuntimi ne unyi shemo power specialist about hospital zebra yare bi ti say hepatitis A, B, C, D and E, fatty liver, sciatica, prostate, broken bones, ulcer, swollen neck and a fibroid bacho wo mu wadru a wo mo de bet tie free ho a sa yare uhu abrabo mu kra bi oda baby biara wakoka de yare na kwa enjaye ma power specialist about hospital enye o last stop na fi wo ntimi enimwa Shannon so okokumasi omo ofe ase Lake Bosom twekwan so opposite George Bro filling station na wanya omo ho obedu nkran ha omo kwabenya pokuase ACP road no so ne mo mbomodi kopie mo takrade ya Anaji Estate adjacent the Anaji MA Primary School for power specialist about hospital for number iso nchimu aka bi omo de beso 0244 544422 0244 544422 and 0200 383831 0200383831 WhatsApp number 0355 797878 0555 797878 na fe power specialist about hospital for anywhere dey share mo na yare bia wo no ma bomodi asama abraso se nkomo aka na yebiem ewo dwumadi so kojo yebo a former youth organizer dem MPP amanyoko no ewa yawa so West Wogon ana Charles McCarthy chief editor edema the Hawk newspaper my man pedi for ya kwaba na fe yenhye yenkomodi na se kojo now what to say
nyame adaro ma me ho ye kata na manya kakra
mete o kase mu kakra
ya se ye paguma na yentie se
kata de se enye yare seasonal
yeah
eba na aba me nke bi chi me I think last week na me piapia rob bi share hwa ana ma ehonjojo ye na apart from Qatar ne de se bibia de na kwa
bibia wona kwa bibia
de nyankopon ya bia me kasa ban ya ba ma because ahofa atiego so kase ene chese kwajo wa ye kama
oh eno de nti wa wonim aban de mu te be betra meka yento to ye ne hihye ye bibia ekoso aka ne man kitinta individual bia benya bi
okay
enframa na ebo nimpo ye otmase
okay
and some of the ministers are performing serious maybe I meet me do akọ agric ministry and as bibisa what you say oh hono ma wa udu abont yes ministers be adwuma ba agric minister wo ye adwuma man bro so
honorable doctor
I'm telling kokon kitinkitin na no me say the minority leader no wo kan bibia fa ho unu say du ba bi no mo ye mpanimfo a ezo mutimi hu de wo mbeka nsem what the parliament na say ensem a wo nyina wunim ti ade na obey mischief na obey say niam what you say there be wo kokon kitinkitin issues say wo we enkokon na de ba say omo che 50 ni 100 ni ade senkofo ba bia no e ka say obi nko ye enkokon kitinkitin ye man 50 pieces a wo wi a obe sorry ye den e de hu ska bra ban no da bibia ni o sa the main thing is say enkokon kitinkitin na ide ade ye de aba no nipa no wo ye na so mo enyina se ma 50 at least kum be 5 bibia de aka no waton na wa wo de gina wo nan so akofa bibiem na che edwana na wo bie mutima se
okay ntina yen se wo monye sa nkokọ no nye no first kan
bibia sa ni ba bia ba majority leader person minority leader person che se wo mo abo man ne ka because almost nkukɔ no ɔmo ayɛ no mo kumwe what am I say
okay
na ɛhin fa no wɔsi ɛsɛ obi mfa nkukɔ nketenkete de obi a ɔmfa ho sika mra ban no aban ne so sisi sɛ as a grant bibi sa de ma it is so sisi no wa otimi de abɔ bra
okay
wa wo hyehyɛ ba kɔ ɔmo de ba say wo hwɛ ayi ɔmo kruma fi mu a
yes
what am I say ekurafoɔ no na wahwɛ kurafoɔ no menua ɛkwae a yɛma cages ne ade ne de wa kurafoɔ no ayɛ nkokɔ no ɛfɛ na bro so
nti ayɛ sɛ nkokɔ no sɛ wonyɛ na ɔmo nyini na wa so bɛwe de ɛyɛ wa wadi ho abro because aban ne de aba bɛsɔ wasene ɛhyɛ wama capital bia
wobɛgyina so ɛde atum pɔn ɛwɔ abrabɔ mu enti deɛ meka sɛ ɛnneɛma pɔpɛ ɛkɔ so ɔne ada nti woyɛ minority leader na woba bɔnten bɛka sɛ ɔmo akɔ so financial what to the state which state ɛhefa ne kaa sɛ yɛma obi nkokɔ 50 100 na ɔkɔkɔ yɛn owie a ɔfa mmra ban ɛni baabi a nti deɛ meka ne sɛ yɛte hɔ no mu minister na yɛ nhyehyɛ papa toto nneɛma yie nneɛma yɛ sɛ akuafoɔ nyɛ sɛ obia sɛ ka wɔde ama obia me ne wo ka awia sɛ mɛka kyerɛ wo adwumayɛfo baako yɛ nkokɔ yɛn ɛnu 3 month o ɛnu 3 month
ne
wanyina boro so 1 month 2 weeks or nyina bro I can see ultimate ton man ye akoko say ton be 300 250 400 it depend what here what say sa na ma ultimate ye na wo ton me ka me fie bi am the last time no come was enkoko am ye kakra ho no wa wo hwe me ton ya sika ba mu sese masama bia me bia mu ko e be kakra me need asase kese ze me ye dey
me ye wo ye poetry I don't know
me da me ye ansa no mo de kokko kitenkete issues ni ba ye we na me fanta me ya awe ene me do me hu say bi me tete muslims and my yen mo time no me tete easter and my yen me tete christmas to all the time me tete occasions e wo manim no 2 months na me de yen sa say me hu say no meti ma ye ama me ho atome and na ban no so make sure say wo so mo be so wasene
okay
nti ade na wo nyine wo no so wasene now your minority leader mo ti won ma da bia mo complain da bia mo se mo niska ade na mo nya bi opposition for munye bi
me pese me nya nkoko no bi sunday me ba besra no ma
bra besra na be hwe de we tie e ka bia nim mama ba ko che mama de wo si fam a wo gya ho no ma wa ni beje
na mo mba
wo hwe ne se o ti gim no na mo ni beje ada na mpe we bi nye na to na ense wo be encourage opposition for no opposition no so because mo be dey for 10 years opposition and to encourage them no
40 years opposition
and no kran put dey ateso amomo aba we ye mo mra omo ba ne ke afa he
me da se
Obrempong so kasem papa hwede wa oto ano me anya kra anya ntisa nkofo we die bio
Charles Akwaba
me je osobnia
bibi aboko
nyankopon ye na famu de aka ne nipa be ya bo nipa nanka mo wansemka say emergency bi ba ye misa wo onye nkoko a uwia wo de dey
say wo we
ana man come visa ye the chef frame with the bodan ana abi onye akoko
no nyia
obewe oye ne den obewe
ai
ye mfa chef frame modan
dabi
eno no mo si na manfo ere nkoko no na nko mbezo mo ye nkoko ne den mentias you but ka ho bi na manaso okay say I budget finance minister
sure I would hear some more
so we mere ni so Matisa manfo ka say abanya spend me fi
say finance minister aboboso
ina na what is say afenyo market kan o si otua NDC for pay and no baso momo na baso what I say you paid your party people and you have come for us to praise you. What it means is that uncle tua mo
any anka
come bona
tua mo dey
this are not that was what he said. That was in his concluding remark. You see, but yenya masui your budget for the whole year 12 months no 302.5 billion Ghana cedis. And you see a bidding authorized amount and can see spending
a few
the full January to December. A year 302.5 billion.
Okay.
And now you spend 143.7 billion.
It's in do half of
up to June, and it's a 50%. We are short by 2.5.
Okay.
I see.
Okay.
Say, Opa Pama Wiska. na wodi sika ni nyina na wodi na bi ka ese ebo abazo as ye di watem so wa ni sika ni nyina
was your boy abaso say when this
a prudent management.
Okay.
Which means that you are disciplined. What is it?
Okay.
A positive control of situations. And you know, abrabia chairman anka ye koyi omo the supplementary budget na eko omo ko request do this a minister cars you ba mabay mama se me ba be sel kwenya na makobobusia.
Okay.
And my mama se me ba be bisa sika now give me additional money because nyamo approvals are year no authorization a year no kra no yentime ndimu half. We have 6 months to go.
Sure.
To December.
Sure.
What I say.
Sure.
And you know, it was about 52% of the total money, you know, available to be used for the. And you know, okay, one spend. They are not maintains you. If you are not, baby or baby are not maintains here. This are for number spending now. No more case one spending. I say because I buy a spend there. What do you mean by one spending? Because a whole year and a half of the year, and why 43.7 billion.
Ghana cedis.
Instead of saying Koben pass 150 billion, why 143.7 billion. Just 2.5 short of what you were supposed to spend. The two bad say one spend yeah. It means that on TSA, it will form kakra.
Okay.
Okay. Inflation is saying. What is it? What is the situation of inflation? It's about 3.5.
Yeah.
5.3.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yam fan to a baby term. Then a net here. You share your currency, CD stability, no. A CD to dollar, no. It is saying. And then dollar who nya contribute. And then dollar who nya contribute. First, nanka man for this CD, sir. Omuko $1 to atuho ene wo $1 to awaboka uko $1 ne adibete uko ne so atiba abafom embebi etwa mu Russia Ukraine huni siye mewa
yes
ebe ye problem e wo man wi problem bia ne wo yire nyem kura na ye Russia Ukraine untimi mfa wo yire Russia Ukraine untimi ndidi Russia Ukraine and ne yeti ho ye Russia Ukraine da so omu omu da so extend bombs me boa
to kwane go so koso
to kwane koso na American Iran Israel deal we
abebum
and so abebum still the government is trying hard to keep fuel prices you know at reasonable cost I'll be a bit me atobi ye nya shortage da I say na de na kwa kodu be $100 per bag ye nya shortage in abundance of fuel and what have you. Yes, so the government is doing well.
Okay.
But template or MUDIS review I have issues. For instance, at the in 2025 near Chum, we are in 2026. Yembo Brown Quenim, we should stop going back. 2025 in the way Chum. This is a new year. 11 does not come in here at all. The me we sana. For me, what's that?
But just me back so under the previous administration.
See, anything I had to
me fact question if you all these news and taxes never one of Ghana for
yeah.
NDC buy said okay last year crown no year free
my
year free ho
you do flower ma
but o share
ya bon someone ma
yes so why ya say free ho
yes
so o share sika na e-levy dima emission betting tax and even COVID-19 dima my year free ho and still so the economy no this NDC government have Dr. Atofos and Air Finance Minister Ashishen no you see sir and is for ayade when it comes to managing our finances.
And no dear, this is a won can cry. They be a wow near before your meeting, and I'll be case a buying where money homebody when it comes to the economy of this country.
But the minority,
from saying
minority.
Well, what is their duty? Omaduma is a
when is she? For food and case of
a Duma or so muye, and it's a mubeye de day. aban the bar no work cassette.
That's their job.
That is their job. Now who's a demonstration? No, now say one who moko for.
Yes.
Eduma anka parliament no be. Government business only di. The numbers on to me farm for emergency parliamentary
even if sir adieno ade ba be boa Ghana for crana because they are minority they have to kick against
exactly. This is when no philosophy. The phenomenon led minority no or philosophy no. Say bibia bambe ye bia no. Ye mbongu. Bibia bambe ye bia yen ka bibi bone mfa wo. Say obehu so ma story so mo ye critical debate, issue based debate one be. For instance, for your friend, tribunals bill or mudia bay. No, so more pia bay press conference at section by section. The entire. There's nothing like that. Emotional, throwing tantrums, blowing hot air. This is the kind of minority I will not issue based because the normal That's the issue. That is why they are crying. It was the budget don't represent. It is full of what English and less payment. Less payment because I bring a chairman. This can manage maybe the big FWASO. So you want this government to toe the same lane. What I say, and I won't be big in car. And Kaoma or Bessica, no, this can be car. Udinatem. What I say, one my Bessica, so sick we dinner for 6 months. Or buy or say that scout dear mamma, a beer cow. We see that be unimsicadi. Okay, your budget in a prima for minority, a prima for. Okay, in conclusion, no. In conclusion, you are satisfied so far with the presentation of the. I mean, satisfied, especially the me pro. There's some $300 million be about or upgrade schools. Yeah, 150 secondary vocational technical schools are 10 new ones or messy. Okay, they will upgrade 20 category C to category B. No more upgrade the 30 category B to category A. I think that I like some of these things. Now your schools work category B, you know. My expertise way. Yeah, because my senior high order is kind here. A education minister meaning problem because the whole region any category B school so who lift one from each region now you cannot go past my Buemai senior high school was just Kofi dance because you are down for
what is the budget on can right yes media nina na manage ho baby na manage ho ba ko. Yes, I can see a World Cup. FIFA would come at $2.5 million. See, I'm finding preparation, Yamra. Yes. And what am I? If fear could do also, your hotel, you be beer, FIFA and 5 beer, unless the days I will be film, what's I spending some days. And Umpono, say FIFA the 11 million as a canna brewa, and what it is, any money in a film. But I'm a sure we know. Me finance minister say, "What is 58 million Ghana cedis?" That's high count. And the man, me pen busa say, "Sanye biya say sikano." Omri kwa yede. FIFA ne ma car, FIFA ne ma hotel, FIFA ne ma duane, FIFA ne ma bibia. It is sika 58 million Ghana cedis no. Edi ane de kwa ye. Because emre bi atwam ne say simasimu ye anye. And me ada no benti ye the same thing am akobro so.
I think sports minister or Honorable Kofi Adams or Ntino sir question was
Ghana or Glasgow.
So Obeba.
This question. Before and budget you Obeba krano. We are call a film America kraba. Cancel the expenses a year in Adiaba. Ye be ko work up no so no. Wouldn't say almost some for supporters enko. Emma mu frɛ ankra. Emma Crawford do music about KG $10 million na buy. Ibrahim Mahama. Me am in Yambia. One also the 5 million and send a for individual tier. Any of some say scandal was an amope. Catch some more per $35 million. Woman ya bear 30. ɛno no sɛ wonim Ghana and Colombia match no wonim sɛ ɔmo amfa nipa mpa nkɔ stadium Ghana Colombia nipa mpa nwuram
obi ankwa na sɛ ɔma match
wo de kɔpɛ match no hɔ Ghana ni bia no wɔ stadium nim ɔmo amata obi a take it ɛno ana yɛ first second one ɔmo ma nipa kakra ɛno kra anya ɔmo ɛde ɔmo kɔ yɛ o nkrɔfo kakra no ɔmo outside no ɔmo ana ɔmo ma ɔmo take ɔmo de kɔ inside eti saa sika no yɛgigi ankrankra sika no yɛntimi ɛmɛ akonta yɛnya ho bibia yɛwie no ama no obia twɛn sɛ Kofi Adams yɛ obi a baade sanka do kra ɔde calculation brɛ ama yɛhu sika de akaba bia ne nyinaa da ne yakoma to yɛm
yɛ 58 million Ghana cedis
ɛnya no first one na ankrankra de baayɛ no
okay
ɛno ɔmo afa nkwa hwee ɔmo afa nya bibia ɛno yɛ ni baabia sika ne nyinaa wɔ ɛnɛ me no kasanka yɛ film na komba na komo akyerɛ yɛ kɔ yɛ de simasi kɔ yɛ de nipa sɛ ne kɔ yɛ ne yɛ hu sampa na so mo boa
so ebi honorable ni Ghana ebi no
for when up to when up to when and before be say ska no enye ayi na individuals ka nya na ne de bema a winning bonus na de o and o man na be kita for eno eti ewie ball na a minor na ehwe omotwe obia pedium ni bibia ma omo a players na say na make no eti say ska na only supporters one for supporters and go say ska no we ye wi anfanto nche enura finance minister ba betra podium so betra simpie so e ka che Ghana for say ye the 58 million Ghana cedis and ye the ma sports minister or the kodua de 3 days 4 days dia no de koye enura akufado minister yabani yabasa okay yabani yaba minister no sports no okoye niema troka ba mo sesa no do okoye the same thing niema troka wo sesa ba yenu so ba niema ye FIFA na ye bibia one tonso one toduane one high die one ye bibia
to now GF omo form expenses in metro
GF expenses be the GF so ye
and sports ministry
omo sports ministry omo wonim say nipa bia be so ball kro no a wo twa asem abebeka or push baby okay all African games
yes
if normal target paper here na saying all African game krono mo boy any sika mo di ye enya de ketwa akufo ado amamu no krofo na no mo tese no e no man batro ka abai mo posa no hompo o mampani che bo so ba sa de ye be hwehwem University of Ghana who there no mo se hostess how mo use ye e be air condition no mo de bom we twa mount de to so dollars anya de ketwa on says can say pasa aden that ministry there edrum mre na se sabe ye yade a ye twa agirambo de to sa ye yade ma na ye tai sa ye yade a ye nwene ho sa Obrempong eti minister bia be ko ministry bia ye be ko tournament aba no wo be budget na ni pasuro ada mo ko abrochi mo ko na ko abrochi no abrochi obi anko bi 30 ba ko na ton ni sen $140 no ye da fe dem edu ba bi poda sabiam se be menafofo de omo ye omo ko omo nyina no nyina na mo ton ma $450 $50 per ticket. I'm telling you we will be before so pay me for wedding nyina de amount na no makati be yi bi kire wo ya omo omo susu kokoto mo dia mo de koy na mo se twa mo ton ma omo and no ba yo mu nyina ye di won ko ba ni nyina obi aso so beka asem no mo nka ba ya ye di enim de beka ho asem ma
o dream ni kata se bi akoso
world cup mama na broso me say abai we o mampani yesre no ne nkrofo no am appointment ni bi wan hwe obedi o mu hwamo wan hwe obedi ni hwamo because ye de obi ti ade na no no mu iska o mu ko ne iska ne ye basasa na ne ma ye basasa wo dwe ho awon ti ase world cup we beto chem aha no mo central farm mo say na ko obi obi a radio station minim safle NDC radio station obi ani okobi na mo kura mo anya bia anko na ye tifie ni benya bia ko ho na mo de ne koye mo tena se mo kutwa na mo nim saa na mo de Ghana din bi Kofi Adams tuwe so no de di ko gina bonti sam de sesesa o nya $200 why you so Ghana di afa president aka ho ama president na nimo nyama ba ama corporate body discover say term mo amfa nipa anko ba bia na wonu say abana yebeto the next 2028 no saade we nyina campaign to so wonu sa for nipa 1000 ko ni 600 nyane 400 mra we win election
komumfa nipa nko
no Canada asase we wi acheke asase da Canada omo pe nipa duane yamunya bi na atikroma ayede akufado tibi ayi kata mpo he kro papa ni kufado so ankrofo kwe be 1000 2000 habiba omo kan na ka ho omo hwe omo busuafo omo ye typical NPP omo duro NPP ho etu anya disakwanya ade na odon fa bi nko we unya 3 countries ayi na enya US na omo so omo nya Mexico enya kra eche Ghana
Mexico
me say obronis ka bia no ebu ni kwase. Ose san hanu kakra enya kra de wo de fa $1 ose say. And na kra wawu krampo almost 1,002. Asa be fa ko be card cedi mako 1,002 ya mako 12. And I walk high, and no back up and what would you? So I don't the day Canada and the whole free into the move Remo Honoma, who come so messy. Some guy to be so binyane. Now, so I didn't get man if you could do Canada. We see an answer proposal corridor. Now, the Sabo maybe I said, that's a while.
Say news if he Canada near the but Najuma cry, why?
And Yano San Obiati to Kaba, won't you bush him? Miami junior sister. What a gun are not on Tony, a grad and a ton food or Cantamanto. On point that contain him. Onya Switzerland koe babe japade ba akum yenu miense na woni Abraham mo den de obi aba wontim nam se wo kra na se proper na nam kantamanto what ma ko Switzerland aye nipa ne obi abrochire bi ampese ni nuabe na bibi ni nipa.
Are you encouraging the youth to say wo munya abrochire wo nkwa na
tna hai wo da so pata ya no bi de enya de be ko because ya no ekure ya ni mpanifo ni ya twitwi bom na wo fam a wo cameraman wo gina mani mo gina ha na ma yire me hodo me de wa ko Canada na US na UK wo se wo nko what the cremu yede obroniska ye didi agro
and it also
bibinisika born ntuma no a onye obroniska ko fie da kwche pilo ase enye fi bo onya Ghana ska wo de born ntuma no wase me na wo ka no wonya bro kire na ote ha sa wo nko ti advantage ye nya ye ya se no party ni advantage mienu on ba mienu two advantage na wonya esa party ndi hye no hun crime ayi interior ministry mutaka ne ho say recruitment basa to ne obi anim ni faith ene no aka ene gira honom what man say ene we wake up by ti we yade a wo be boost wo manfo ne nyankopon da ro enya corporate body sika yemfa nkrofon ko ya ade na wo hwehwe abai the paper to super ye do Canada embassy pe simple ye be ma visa ade nti ne agane na ne agane Ghana for bre me nim nkrofon ko ya na fofo ko obi a omko ye mo na kotua ekoto mo take it ya momo it Obrempong mi busa anya bia ye ba beteta am say ye
Canadian embassy wo de beto wo so mo pen crofo email address ne ade na mo ticket na mo akwa Ghana matches so mebo no be free
na Canadian na che senti sa de wonya hu ta de na esa ba wo ma TV so ma samrante nko na mo nto mo obi machi konso achi sa da ba na bo so be so ye be ma ni bibi kakra enti wo ko kakra bi pau na obesi dai kakra no baba ye japade enti ada na for advantage na oni bibi wo de kwadwo ye bo akodu Canada sesia kwadwo ye bo abusuafo ni nyina o mo ada na ndisi fo mo Ghana ni nyina because bi be bia me nsem na ba fo na me adme mane wo me jama de se meti akra hey se me tu da mo obi asante figiasa na se brown Kenya ase Obrempong ntimi so at the end of the day wunya opportunity na wa ba mu a Kofi Adams de wadi party ni hwamo wadi party ni hwamo papa I'm telling you odi organizer na Kofi Kofi abe hagino wa ma yade ministry ade mani wasade di party ni hwamo to because we former organizer oba nwanwa organizer de meka sade pa Samia Oku NDC NPP Samia Oku and what the young minister of youth and sports and emre so ya kan pipi ni bia ni gan e okromu a emre so na mo ese omutim beto abon beto party ni yes kan beboa am ya gigiska what ma say omo na okaso mu ntuatua no mtuatua kakra bi okabo mo bebre ni dey campaign ade na mu jai ni nipa ba ko take decisions a emwa na wo hwe nkrofobia na mo kan ho lady yi mi pa mebo lady din sa lady ya wa wuni mu no when they take decision ama ministry no ama minister sa lady way yeti kran politics na ye ha e wali Kofi and sports for ni na person beka because obi asi bi obenya wo say e ma bebo wake up
okay
e ma bebo wake up e ho no oba ba hwe obi ha no na ko ho no this is Bobo Africa Cup na bebe hwe obi ana TVS was the Brahma Bray who we are no akọ other station na da bia wo mkogu no nipa 15 and mo fa omdom koye and this bo ne wono abo ne ho abro so on baby am say what so on go for no nipa mako 15 list of the 3 minutes omde mom koye no TVS was it off radio good off Accra FM off ahun tompo de bobo nanti me adwuma saa mo adani caterpillar mo ya adwuma ni wia opportunity ba mo nkobi tie ye kra na mo de build boys receive sanya kra do akọ US ba akọ ba e wo mo betima sa akọ no aba okọ third one o ma biem no nso akọ ye nipa what man say e be man sika sem na busia obetima build busia na mabusia na anya ba bia gina ni nyina echa de ho dede you ba beteta sa niema we hu sa amata we And this minister, I'm telling you, some are wicked. Some of the ministers, I'm telling you. Obi one more to choir. We better have for Kevin. Alpha way. Nipa be for a can ho. Mumi anko. No, one no kwa. What force to cry the be on the one. Ne crofone beko. What was a baba election be mu. Election the baba so. Ko you want to get anko say juma ni be mu. Mum the crofone for ne crofone to take it over. No mutimi nya niema. Ni anko ko breya hu say ye collection. Mutaka say ne buafu. One full platform be uncle by Bia, ye are near man in tea, we are the same. I do bet my becans Ghana for 1,300 or more ace. 6 million or 5 million or more for them. And I put a waiting near the be at Babonte without time fan to my chim. Yeah, catch them will say, with a month more your bush of funny dams are no money to the 2 or 1 people, but you vote. Mr. Darcy. Yeah, you remember, Debbie, you Michelle, you remember. We are still live on TVSYZ and Power 97.9 FM. Inside Politics, Jumedi Sunye. Na we say you go so in Sema Hodo Echegu or Mine Ghana Hano, ya de Esum no, ya ne Kojo Eboa, former youth organizer, Edema MPP, Amanyo Kona, and Charles McCarthy, one also chief editor, and editor in chief, Edema the Hawk newspaper, Penifoni and Neom Edi Jumedi Sabri. Now, the National Petroleum Authority for some main car was Saukoto, Tanka bi Adane, Atom, Patembi, Mufianim, na nya accident wa me pa cho men fa gallon en fa bo en fa bibi biara nko se wo kwa so petrol ni bi eja betimi atom ama wo bi biara wo ho no obetimi ahwere ne nkwa nti se wonya akwakoto accident ni bi sa pe bo modern na number me dey tudwai fa na frɛ wo frɛ pe the National Petroleum Authority for bejo so wo mo de wo mo a wo ma mo nkyerɛkyerɛ mu ewo saa akwanhyia ho ebeba be yensiesie kama na afei bibia timi aye kama na so betimi afrɛ the Ghana Police Service and the Ghana National Fire Service for so no maba beai ho abe yensiesie e de amam kai na hyɛ nso sɛ onkwan kita no esombo eson petrol 1 gallon frɛ National Petroleum Authority for brebi abem se tanka adane wo number is on beje so 030 255 0380 030-255-0380. Now, if you want such America, the National Petroleum Authority for no more in the amount. Divine Hope Eba Center, some in countries or the try about pada, Abe Drama so a droy, a bebe wow, na fe a yaw a wo sisimu, West Spain, so yaw ba na sebema a unity free ho. Pause, cocoa, and then also wa bebo net to the amount. Sexual weakness, low libido, stroke, ulcer, any menstrual disorder. Yari amabobo so nyina no se wodie wo mu a epacho bomode na fo wani chiremu ewo eye Divine Hope Eba Center na kokoje otwe eba pada omde aba ne bebo yi pa kai na se nso se before aba no otwe eba pada no na wadidi awia ansa na watimi anom udidi wi a what is such a bakwano now the gunso shemu wa wo so no kakra na afra na fe wanom se adroi na etimi aboawo na okokofodi a Gapson Pharmacy ubenya bi na fe wato ho Capeba usunyane House of Drugs eya Shaiman boachi ansa ewo Cape Coast na boachi eba wotema PK Gombela ewo Tamale bomode na Fred Divine Hope Eba Center for se wo pharmacy shop and now herbal shop na wo pe otwe eba powder ne bi agumu aton na de age afoforo nkwa e wo number si so ombeje so no mama dre bi etu aton 0591 565 557 0591 565 557 and 0550 639 037 0550 639 otwe herbal powder ojane shewa wa wo beba we are still live on TVXYZ and Power 97.9 FM. Nsema hodo etwegu ewo man Ghana mu a ana ye fa sa akonya wi na afi ye de asomwo. Mamenchia Honorable Vida Adai wo call eye National Vice Chairman edema NDC Amonyoko no National Elections basono Honorable Vida Adai wo gina mu pa medical akase abribia no ana party na ho ode kwanim no mo hwe wo mo a party no eda o makoma so wo mo atu o mo ho asi wo se abribia no wo mo be ya adwumaden na wo mo de aboa party no ebi any Honorable Vida Adai sabridi okofo National Vice
chairman position no na wabomodin akɔhyehyɛ na wɔman akɔso afa ne ntɛm apɛ bi ɛde ɛfra abusua yɛbɛda ne ho kakra bi de aba yɛnya aba pɛ wɔn ɛwɔ ahanom a wɔn ɛbɛtumi aboa okay yɛnto adwumadie no so na yɛnhwɛ nea yɛbɛyɛ ɛwɔ atoa okay yɛnkɔ hwɛ ɛwɔ asomdwe park ɛnɛ da yi dwumadi a ɛkɔ so na yɛde kae the former late president Professor Evans Fifi Atamils and a rich lay na ɛkɔ so na maame kan ɛho nsɛm kakra mfa nkyerɛ. A rich laying ceremony was held at Asomdwe Park in Accra on Friday, July 24th, 2026, to commemorate the 14th anniversary of the passing of former President John Evans Fifi Atamils. Nti another afia ye woman no 14 days penny bosomi ye woman July His Excellency 14 years penny His Excellency the former President of the Republic of Ghana John Evans Fifi Atamils Efremo ewo oman Ghana into a rich laying ceremony ekwo so ne Omampani John Dramani Mahama nkasa ekopie ho na dwumadie wodi anim no mo ye na ye kama. So the solemn ceremony brought together President John Dramani Mahama, Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Gbagben, members of Parliament, ministers of state, members of the Council of State, the NDC Council of Elders, President, and members of the Traditional Council, and a relative of the late president and members of the public. Eti Jumadie ene ana ekoso na womo edeshe so the former late president of the Republic of Ghana John Evans Fifi Atamils mfie du 90 wofrimu na afia ne omampani John Dramani Mahama ene Speaker of Parliament Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Gbagben Suko PMO ho sanso ana members of Parliament mrashebejofo ahodo bebre wo mo nyina so ekopiem ewo dwumadie na ase ministers of state ebi nso ko ho afi members of the Council of State wo mo nyina ekopiem ewo dwumadie na ase a wo mo ekoka His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama ene mpanifo aka eho na afi Bibia Timi Eko so fine. Yanko His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, Ewo Jumedi Nase, Nensema Wadi Tuja, Yabebe to Asama.
The Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Gbagben, Speaker of Parliament, our traditional leaders present and acknowledge King Odaifio, the Paramount Chief of Nungwa Traditional Area, members of the Council of State, the Honorable Chief of Staff Julius Debra, General Secretary of the NDC Party, Mr. Fifi Fiavikwete, the Majority Leader of Parliament, the Honorable Mahama Ayarga, members and activists of the NDC, Honorable Ministers of State present, Honorable members of Parliament, friends of the late President John Evans Atamils, members of the family of the late President, revered clergy, including my younger brother, Dr. Lawrence Tete, who preached the sermon, friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Every year we return to this quiet place known as the Asomdwe Park, not merely to lay wreaths, but to renew our gratitude for a life that enriched and strengthened our nation. Time has a way of softening grief and pain, but it also has a way of sharpening memory. 14 years after Professor John Evans Atta Mills left us, I find that what endures most after his departure is not merely the memory of a president, but the memory of a man, a gentle soul, whose character was his greatest strength. Some leaders command attention by force of their personalities. President Mills commanded respect by the strength of his character and his values. He believed that kindness was not a weakness, and that humility was not timidity, and that decency was not incompatible with effective leadership. He demonstrated that one could occupy the highest office of the land without losing one's humanity. I had the rare privilege of serving by his side. Beyond the cabinet meetings, the official engagements, and the weighty affairs of state, I came to know a leader who listened more than he spoke, who reflected before he acted, and who never allowed the burdens of office to diminish his compassion for the ordinary people that he led. Professor Mills's leadership was anchored in conscience. In today's world, where our public discourse is often dominated by anger, division, and impatience, the life of President Mills reminds us that history ultimately judges leaders not by the volume of their voices, but by the depth of their convictions, not by the bitterness of political contests, but by the lasting impact of their service. And that is why his legacy continues to resonate. He taught us that public office is not a prize to be claimed, but a trust given by the people to be honored. He understood that leadership is at its best when it seeks to unite a people rather than divide them, to heal rather than injure, and to inspire rather than intimidate. As I reflect on the responsibilities that the people of Ghana have entrusted on me today, I often recall his quiet wisdom and steady temperament. These values continue to remind me that every decision that I take must ultimately serve the people of Ghana and strengthen the democratic institutions that would outlive us all. The greatest tribute we can pay to President Mills is not found in any speeches or ceremonies or anniversaries annually. The greatest tribute we can pay to him lies in our commitment to the principles that he cherished and lived for, and that is integrity in public life, respect for democratic institutions, tolerance of different views, compassion for the vulnerable, and an unwavering belief that Ghana's progress must benefit each and every one of its citizens. His dream of a peaceful, just, and prosperous Ghana remains a work in progress. And I pledge to the memory of Professor Mills, President Mills, that I shall continue to walk in the footsteps that he left.
His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, and the Jumedia Womodi Erikai, the former late President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. Kwan of Faso be born a bra, Kwan of Faso be ye man penny, any city na wo hunus amemu edefa, se obebu nipa do nipa, etie nipa ha no ayama. You know, ana ɔmampani John Dramani Mama na wɔkyerɛkyerɛ no abusua ha na ɛbrɛma kwan ne yɛde dwumadie no nyinaa ɛsi ɛnnɛ kwadwo yɛbo a ɛne Charles McCarthy na ɛbɛka yɛn ho ane yɛdi saa dwumadie wei bo wokɔɛ Mr. Raf Jampo Abbas Mr. Peter Cranton Mr. Emmanuel Neti ɛne Mr. Emmanuel Kisi wɔn na ɛwɔ hɔ a wɔn hyehyɛ wo dwumadie TV ne soma na wogye berɛ hwɛ dwumadie yi bi Elvis and Francis Nigina cameras and any Kofi Asante ne twa dwumadie wei ɛde so Elise na makeup Mr. Kelvin Asante me producer hyehyɛ dwumadie nyinaa ɛde ma me sɛ medi ho kyame medin de enke Obrempong the grassroots president of my Kania to talk about publishing nyame adoma Monday yɛbɛsan ahyia makraw